and collecting prizes. Visit Davoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County, or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with Davoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. If you're looking for a real solution to your thinning hair or hair loss, call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS.
Find out what's causing your hair to fall out. Can your hair grow back? What procedures or products will work? Get to the root of your problem with IHRS's Hair and Scalp Analysis. This analysis magnifies your hair and scalp 400 times to see what procedures can restore your hair. Stop wasting money on solutions that don't work. IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years. They're the only clinic to offer the trademark multi-unit hair grafting, PRP platelet-rich plasma, and the NeoGraft FUE hair transplant procedure. Real solutions, real results.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com. Hairforme.com.
What? They did not tell me they were going to do that. I need a new bank.
Well, actually, One-to-One Financial doesn't do the usual bank surprises because we're not a bank. We're a credit union. And that means lower loan interest, things like free checking and member rewards, and of course, total investment back into our community.
I'm sold.
Find a better way to bank than big banks with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit 121fcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make a plan and secure your home. Take inventory of your home's hurricane preparedness kit. Don't forget about your pets. Even if you evacuate, secure your home's windows and doors from the storm. Being prepared helps protect your family and home. This hurricane season, don't delay. Make a plan today. Know your zone, know your home. Learn more at floridadisaster.org. This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
You don't even like your quarterback.
Kasey Kuhrts.
You don't even like your team.
And Aaron Schachter.
I don't even like myself, guys. Do you know me?
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau. Check out Action Sports Jacks weekdays from 3 until 6 on ESPN 690.
This is Sports Center. I'm Nick DeLuca. Denver shaking up their defense. The Broncos moving on from Pro Bowl defensive end Frank Clark with a trade or release in the coming days. They own the NFL's worst scoring defense. Denver opens Week 6 on Thursday night against the Chiefs. KC tight end Travis Kelce, questionable with a foot injury, is expected to play. According to Adam Schachter, Broncos getting tight end Greg Dulcich back, activated from injured reserve. In baseball, one spot left in the Final Four. Phillies can eliminate the Braves tonight with Atlanta up against it. Former Cardinal Adam Wainwright says the series isn't over.
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Atlanta win with Strider on the mound and that go to a Game 5. I don't know who's going to win that series, honestly. Even though they're in Philly and Philly's got seemingly a ton of momentum right now, it's hard to bet against that lineup that the Braves have. I think whoever wins that series is going to win the World Series.
Wainwright on unsportsmanlike coverage at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Atlanta turning to Spencer Strider in a winner-go-home Game 4.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Cannon. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why my favorite team's season is over. Sorry, Giants fans. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me.
Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Wow, it's raining a lot out today, huh? What is this, London?
Nice forecast, buddy.
Going back. 7 inches of rain down in St. Johns County overnight. What is
7
that?
inches?
Yeah,
That
in one spot over like Fruit Cove or something. I think Burge said.
Is there a giant boat collecting animals by 2? It's a lot of rain.
Well, stay safe out there. We know what happens around here when it rains and you got to drive.
The street lights are out.
Yes. Are they?
A thing?
Oh, are you guys serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime it rains, even sprinkles, there's a guaranteed light out on Beach Boulevard.
Man.
Like, it's not even a question. I was so shocked when I got here for the first time. I was like, the lights just go out anytime it rains. I guarantee you, I try to go home, beach in Kernan, the light's out. I promise you it is. Around 7 o'clock. It's going to be out. Just so you guys know.
That's interesting.
Yep.
That's
and then you got
a
just
weird thing that, like, I could see a thunderstorm, but like even like today,
any drip of rain. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're going to have 4 people going at one time. You're going to have multiple near-death experiences. It's going to be rough.
Oh, maybe they should bury those wires a little deeper or something.
Yeah,
if that's part of it.
They'll take forever to fix it too, boy. Tell you what.
Who else could we call out today already? 2 minutes in.
Oh, I mean, I got the list if you want it.
Oh, I'm actually going to call you guys out.
I don't know. Last time I called people out, I ended up with you not being friends with people anymore.
Remember, you didn't get invited to that thing?
I'm trying to stay away from it.
Yeah. I didn't see Bert in that picture.
I'm trying to screw Brent over.
Saw a bunch of other randos, didn't see Bert.
It's like, we used to like you, Brent, but now you got this jackwagon on the radio show.
Oh, man. You guys underestimate me, by the way.
In what way?
I don't know where this is going.
He's trying to say he doesn't care.
Let me go back to 22 hours and 5 minutes ago.
Okie doke. Do we need to where the waves kind of come on the TV?
We don't
screen?
have one of those.
Oh,
3,199 votes later.
Ooh, buddy.
3,199 votes later.
Wow.
This guy's like a TV superstar or something.
It's impressive, Bert.
This is, I just don't understand Twitter sometimes, or X or whatever it is. This had 129 responses. We were just asking for a vote, and we got the responses. Like, you can try to get responses, and nothing happens.
Isn't that weird?
And then this was just like a quick poll we put up, and people are mad at me because Twitter doesn't have 15 options. Like, I mean, listen, I don't know. We kind of came up with this yesterday on the show to put Josh Allen in the poll and to put Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram in the poll. And really, it was a conversation speared by Travis Etienne's success.
Really, it was speared by you guys doubting my ability to identify that Travis Etienne is second in the Jaguars power rankings for the fan base.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of recency bias here, but I don't disagree. He's up 45%. Josh Allen, 26%. Evan Ingram, 20%. And Christian Kirk, just 9%. I'm a little surprised by that. Got a lot of write-in votes here. I mean, a ton. And Cisco might be way higher than I thought. Campbell, obviously. Mm-hmm. I mean, the list goes on and on from the Zay Jones, a bunch. We got some recent Roy Robertson Harris. We did get some Trayvon Walker. Smoot. People love Smoot. Love him. Aluakin. Heavy dose. I mean, there were a couple other ones in there, but I'm just thinking of the ones
Logan Cook yesterday. So.
Logan Cook and Walker Little made the list. So pretty wild. Like that was a wild vote. And again, we only can put 4 options up there, so apologies. But
yeah. It does actually make me think, though, that a larger Jaguars power rankings fan vote needs to be done by this show.
Yeah, actually, somebody had a great idea. They said, take the offense, right?
Yep.
And do a bracket.
Okay.
And
so
take the defense and do a bracket.
Person versus person, not necessarily in football talent, just overall.
And popularity.
Stuff,
right?
Yeah.
So you list the popularity and you do the bracket and whatever you come up with. Maybe it's an 8-team, maybe it's an 8-person bracket. Okay. We'll do it that way. Sorry for the folks that we have to leave off. But, and then you go head-to-head at the end. Now, again, I think you still got to take Trevor out of the mix here,
yeah,
right?
It's unfair to have Trevor in there.
Yeah.
Or he gets 2 buys. One of the 2.
2 buys.
I mean, even so, I don't think there's a player that's going to beat Trevor.
Nobody
in the
will.
contest.
Yeah, but after 2 weeks, Cinderella story. Upset game. You know what I'm saying?
Is there any organization that you do actually have like a franchise quarterback and they're not the most popular player?
New York Giants?
Well, no.
The New York Jets?
I said actually have a franchise
quarterback. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, Kelsey actually probably comes pretty close, and now he's eclipsed Mahomes in jersey sales thanks to
the Vikings, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I bet Jefferson is bigger than Cousins.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
How do you feel about Geno?
I don't know if I'd put him in the franchise
over Metcalf.
quarterback.
I don't think it's over
If the
Metcalf,
Cardinals just had any player.
Yeah. How about, I'll give you one. Cooper Kupp over
Stafford?
Stafford.
I bet it's close.
I don't have a good feel for that.
Only because Kupp hasn't been the man for a long time.
Yeah, Stafford won for him.
Yeah.
He came in and won for him immediately.
How about Detroit?
I just thought about Amon-Ra.
I think Goff is probably the guy there.
It's really interesting. They don't have Hutchinson? Oh. Has Hutchinson become like a megastar now more than Goff?
You might be right.
He is one of their own.
I'll give you another one. Now, again, I don't know if I'd go franchise quarterback with the Raiders, but Crosby seems to be that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What about the Cheetah over Tua?
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll give you another one. San Francisco.
McCaffrey?
Bosa,
or
McCaffrey,
Debo?
Over
Debo.
Purdy?
Oh, Bosa.
Three
Definitely
of them.
Bosa over Purdy.
Y'all slipping.
I love how nobody can talk bad about Brock Purdy.
Y'all
They
tripping.
can't say
bro.
anything.
Y'all tripping.
I don't even know who the jersey leader on the Browns is. I just assume it's not Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, maybe.
That's a good
that's
one.
a good one. Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb.
But
Whoever-
not the Bengals, not the Ravens.
You can pick a Falcon.
it's definitely Hurts, right, over everybody else.
I
in the
would
Eagles?
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Colts, I guess Anthony Richardson.
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, Taylor, yeah.
Do
I
they
think
love
it's-
him after everything that happened?
Yeah, it's a little new there, so I think Anthony Richardson probably is outperforming anyone else now. Who's Stroud is for
Who's
Houston.
the guy on the text? Yeah, I guess it's CJ Stroud.
I'll give you another one. Derrick Henry over Tannehill.
Easy.
100%.
And has been.
Yeah.
That's probably been an easy winner.
So it seems like there's a lot of
I
them.
guess actually more than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost half.
The thing that struck me about this, and I mentioned this at some point last night or this morning, we knew this was a likable football team. But this is a fan base that really has liked to hate the players on occasion, too.
I mean, sometimes the franchise gives them reason.
Yeah, no, I'm not blaming the fans here. I'm just saying there's plenty of reason. So it's pretty cool to see that there are a lot of players that could be your favorite player that you resonate with, right? Yeah. That you connect with. That is I think that's pretty unusual to have the amount of players that the Jaguars have that resonate. Again, this is an organization that 7 years ago, the most favorite player was Josh Scobie, the kicker.
Shout out, Josh.
No, serious. I mean, that was real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think to have this many people, and by the way, I think there are a lot of fans of the head coach as well in that conversation. There's just a lot to pick from on this team. And I can't get out of my mind, guys, that I still feel like this is coming together right now for the Jags. I feel like it's going to ramp up here in Jacksonville over these next few weeks, and Sunday included. I have this good feeling. I don't know if I'm afraid of that or not, but DaVon Hamilton comes back onto the field today. Smoot might be back in action on Sunday. Jags are relatively, compared to other people in the league, pretty healthy. They are yet to hit stride. Their offense is showing signs, really showed signs on Sunday, but yet to put up that big one on the scoreboard. Their defense is playing way better than anybody thought. It's a 5-game sample, so now something you can believe in. Some of the stats and metrics that showcase what Trevor's doing, what Ridley's doing, what Ingram's doing, what Etienne's doing, what the defense is doing, are really a third of the way through the season now. That's a pretty good sample of what we've got. So, and again, it doesn't feel like they've even come close to their ceiling.
No.
Yet this year. Maybe the defense has a bit, but the offense doesn't. I mean, the offense scored 31 points against Indianapolis. We thought the offense might average 31 points.
That's fair.
But they got 31 points in part because of the defense, in a large part because of the defense. This team is – I think it was Gene Fournette mentioned this to me in London. He's I think this offense is going to score 40 points twice this year still.
Did they hit 40 last year?
They did once against Dallas thanks to the pick six.
Game. Right.
Overtime, yeah.
And I'll give you, I'm just going to throw media members out there right now, since you guys did earlier.
No, pick the right ones.
Brian Sexton shared this with us in the preseason. He said, I think he mentioned, who were they playing at the time? I don't know. He threw up now I'm not going to do it well because he threw up this number of 40 points per game. Maybe it was Dallas because we played Dallas in the preseason?
Yep.
Okay. So Dallas scored 40 points or more 5 times last year. I'm slowly it's coming back to me, this stat. Well, Sexton went back and looked up how many times the Jags, what year you'd have to go back to find the Jags scoring 40 points 5 times.
Oh, boy.
And I think it was like all the way back to 2003.
3? Was that even a good team?
Well, I'm just saying, like, they might have scored 40 even if they weren't a good team. But to go all the way back some 20 years to get to 5, where Dallas had 5 last year. Now, going into the season, we thought the Jags offense might hit 40 a couple of times and average like right around 30 or 28 or something like that. They just haven't reached that yet. But we still feel like the capability is there, and Ridley's coming around, and Trevor's playing well, and here comes ETN, and they got to figure out the offensive line. If they get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, 35 points, no problem on Sunday. I think we feel that way still. While the first 3 weeks we were like, we were wrong about this, or what's going on, I think the last 2 weeks gave us an indication that, okay, it was a little off, but here it comes. So that's what's fun about it right now in Jacksonville. I mean, the Jags are sitting in a good spot. They've got everything in front of them. Feels like they can go another couple of notches up the ladder. If they can just get this kind of player, even if it takes a little bit of a step back from defense, you'd probably be okay. And they've got a likable football team with a likable coach going in the right direction, a franchise quarterback. I guess at the end of the day, it fills the bucket up of what I've said for the last few months. This franchise, in my opinion, has never been in a better position than it is right now. And those 10 days in London kind of make me feel that again. And also on the horizon, I feel pretty good about whatever the stadium is going to be at some point. So, like, you add that into the mix. And here we are. I don't know, man. I can't get a good feel. I feel good about this Jags team right now.
But you have for most of the offseason and the beginning of the season, and then they stumbled out of the gates, and you kind of wondered. I get that part. Everybody did.
Yeah, ever since Kansas City, you're like, okay, like that was cool on defense, but 9 points? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Right? And it never really got better the next few weeks. There were still stumbles, and even Sunday against Buffalo, there's still problems. Like, they're still making mistakes, which right now, that's their MO. I mean, their identity is they're going to move the ball, but they are going to make some mistakes that's going to prevent them from probably scoring as much as they need to. That's their identity as much as their defense's identity is they're going to get the football at some point or another during the course of the game. And until they flip that and score 35 a game and stop making mistakes, that's going to be who they are.
I guess that's where the disconnect is for me is how could you have been there in the preseason and to start the season to see what the team put out on the field, and then after 2 decent games, not blow you away games, certainly not 30 or 40-point games, but after those 2 games, you're like, all right, we're there. If I was a bigger Jags fan, I don't know that I could come there with you, but then again, I've been abused by the Jets for 30 years, so maybe that's just that trauma and scar tissue talking at this point. I would love to see a much bigger output from the Jaguars this weekend before I jumped on the bandwagon of this is where I thought we were going.
Yeah, well, I guess I just see, like, my eyes tell me different than the scoreboard says, and the stats did show it the other day. 10 of 18, 400 and whatever yard, like almost 500 yards. A lot of domination in that game, like back to what we saw last year at the end of last year. And I think part of this is, I mean, all you got to do is open up Twitter or wherever you're getting your breakdowns and just look at Trevor Lawrence right now and some of the plays that he's making. That's a big part of it, right? I mean, he is playing very good football.
He's making
for
a ton of
football
plays.
team.
A ton of plays. I would love to see them beat a significant opponent with big offense. And I'm not going to call the Bills that right now. They're good. I know it's shocking to you. I know. They're decimated.
They were second in the league coming in.
Coming
they just
in.
put up 48 on Miami.
Coming in. And they lost like 3 of their best players in the game. Like, they are a decimated team who is deflated. And so I'm not saying the win wasn't worth anything. It was. The Jags needed the win, and they pulled it off, and it was important. And it's good to see on the schedule. And next year, we're looking back on this team. We're going to see they beat the Bills in London. We're going to be like, see, they were beating good teams. But I'm telling you, that Bills team is not the same Bills team that beat Miami. It wasn't. Different guys on that squad, but outside of Diggs and Allen.
Yeah, but their offense wasn't. I mean, their offense wasn't.
They lost
different.
3 offensive linemen throughout the game. I mean, the Jags lost people too. I get it. But if we're just talking about the Bills in a vacuum, like the Niners, that is a really impressive win, obviously, but that doesn't have to be it. Even the Bengals in their current situation, I would at least personally consider a bigger win than the Bills game.
Here's why I totally feel different about it, because I've been preaching for the last few weeks the Jags are in trouble without scoring early. They need to start scoring early. They now have scored early. The last 2 games, they started 10-0 and 11-0.
Yeah, it's good.
In their first 3 drives, all right? It really got to drive 2 and 3, but
Whatever
that's
it
starting
is.
fast.
First quarter is all I'm asking for. Like, I know everyone wants to see first drive, but if it's first quarter, it's still good enough.
Yeah, that is starting fast. And then when things got tight, what did they do in the fourth quarter? They made the plays that mattered.
That's
they
important.
put a drive together when it mattered, back to back, really, and they were able to close the door. What they didn't do against Kansas City, which caused a little bit of concern, or maybe even Houston, where they start coming back into the game and then they give up the big kick. They didn't make that play that they had made for the last 2 months of last year. And Kansas City, you're like, okay, listen, they got them right here, but the Jags have been awesome in the fourth quarter of the last year, essentially, and they're going to go make plays, and they didn't. So it was like, oh, no. Well, they did a couple of things in Atlanta and Buffalo in those games that I thought we've been familiar with seeing, but also been thirsting to see. The familiar is the exclamation point at the end, the making plays when it mattered. The very nice to see and thirsting to see was the early get going out of the gates, where take control of the game, dictate the game.
Yep.
And so I go, maybe that is why I feel so good about it, because you guys know this. I've been thumping on this for ever since last year ended. I believe dictating play is the next step of a good offense, a franchise quarterback, an identity that has a team that you think can score.
Yeah.
And what I saw the last 2 weeks is a football team that, collaborative effort, but they were able to dictate the pace and the play of the game over these last 2 Sundays. And that's what I really wanted to see. I mean, the one other box I need to check is, can you just go down and score on the first drive and make me feel better? Because 25 points in 25 games over the last 25 games is kind of weird. Like, that is not a lot, or maybe it's 24 games. Most teams do a better job of that right off the rip of a game. But again, fast start, clutch plays, quarterback playing well, and we can see more. Like, there's not anybody in Jacksonville that feels like the Jags have played close to their best game. Remember last year when the Jags beat the Chargers? So they beat Indianapolis 24-0, and then they beat the Chargers, and everybody's like, whoa, what is going on
early
with
in
the Jags?
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have. So back-to-back weeks, they're 2-1. They throttle 2 teams in a row. They win out west. Everything's clicking, and you're like, holy cow. Well, what happened there is they hit this early peak, and then they didn't win in October. They went 0-5 in October. Right now, the Jags are 2-0 in October, and they still haven't played their best football. You can argue the best game of the year for the Jags last year, front to back, was the Chargers game, week 3.
So does it resonate at all, or have any value in the conversation looking back on that game to say that was a Herbert injury game, that they didn't even think he would start?
Yeah, they did get a lot of those games where it's like, hey, they didn't match up with everybody. But that was a 2-week stretch, really, where they played unbelievable football. They shut out the Colts.
Yes.
And they did whatever they wanted on offense.
I think the Chargers were without their left tackle also.
The Chargers were out a lot of people.
Allen.
And Keenan Allen. They were out everybody. But I still felt like that was the peak, 8 days of the season. Even when the Jags played well down the stretch, they might have been playing better overall, but they weren't dominating football teams like that, right? That's a hard thing to do. That's my point. I thought we saw a sense of domination a little bit on Sunday.
We definitely
with still room
did.
to grow.
We definitely saw ownership. I understand the final score was the final score. There was no point in that game, with the exception of maybe late, where you start scratching your head going, is this the old Jags? Where you felt the game wasn't in control for the Jaguars.
Yeah, it was probably, there were a couple of things like, oh, the NFL's going to bite here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because this is the NFL. It's like, why aren't you up by 30? Well, because it's the NFL. It happens all the time.
But for 85% of that game, you're like Jags in the driver's seat completely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you're a little concerned because you don't want to dominate somebody, have the opportunity like you had in Kansas City, where you dominated their offense really for 55 minutes of the game, and then don't close the door or capitalize. Yeah. And so it did have a hint of that, but I think you're right. I think you felt good about their performance most all of that afternoon or morning back here in Jacksonville on Sunday. Yeah, I don't know if the only thing I need to see a little bit more is a 30-point number.
It would feel good
because of the offense. Again, the 31 points in the opener was really in a large part because of the defense. They put them in a great situation to score on many levels.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm distracted in the chat. Jags for life. James tells Kasey he's got the haircut. Let's go. Supercuts on point. So,
Appreciate you, my boy. Yeah. Sports clips, but appreciate you, my boy. I'm right with you.
Sorry, I was distracted.
Hey, what's the impact of DaVon Hamilton coming back onto the field today? That's the big news out of Jags headquarters. Let's take a break. We come back, we'll talk a little bit about it. And, of course, the Indianapolis Colts, what to expect from Jonathan Taylor, Gardner Minshew, a Colts team that's really playing better ball than probably anybody anticipated. Brent Friends on ESPN 690 here on a Thursday and fired up for a Sunday upcoming in Jacksonville. Don't forget to check us out, the podcast, Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690, and on YouTube, Action Sports Shacks. Just subscribe right there on YouTube to see everything we do on radio and on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
A tornado watch is in effect into this afternoon, meaning conditions are favorable for severe weather. Certainly will be scattered and on and off showers and storms with heavy downpours and those strong storms. Temperatures in the 70s, dropping into the upper 60s tonight. And your Friday will be partly to mostly cloudy. A few scattered showers and highs in the 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Don't miss Beards' incredible buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 31st.
Let me help you get a little something for free with the air conditioning team I use. It's Bold City Heating and Air. Tell them Brent sent you and you get a free duct cleaning with the purchase of a new unit. BoldCityAC.com. Here's why I've partnered up with Bold City Heating and Air. It's a Jacksonville-grown and family-owned and operated business. Most AC places locally have been sold to corporations, not Bold City Heating and Air. And they take care of you the old-fashioned way. Awesome communication, awesome customer service, and they have an awesome new look. BoldCityAC.com for a tune-up on that overworked AC unit. BoldCityAC.com.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville and all of Northeast Florida are fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. If you spot ESPN 690 anywhere in the community, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius.
Digital marketing, well, my intern handles the social media, my brother-in-law does my search, and my receptionist sends out email blasts. All done.
Your digital marketing may get done, but is it doing anything? No? Then let CMG Local Solutions help. At CMG Local Solutions, we combine the best-in-class technology and analytics to maximize your digital dollars while targeting local customers for your business. So your digital marketing doesn't just get done, it gets results. Learn more about how we can help you at cmglocalsolutions.com.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with DeVoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit DeVoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with DeVoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
Hey, poker fans, you're in for a treat this October at Best Bet. With over $690,000 in poker promotions paid out this month, this is no time to be on the sidelines. Highlights include the $400 GoPo 400 with $40,000 guarantee at Best Bet Orange Park, the $100,000 guarantee St. Augustine Championship, and the return of the World Poker Tour $1 million guarantee at Best Bet Jacksonville. For all the details, visit bestbetjax.com. That's bestbetjax.com.
Play a little pool, watch some football, eat wings, and, of course, plenty of adult beverages. Perfect Rack Billiards is the place to be on game day and every day. Now open for lunch at 11:30 on Friday and Saturdays. Daily specials like 75-cent wing Wednesday, $3 draft Thursday, and $3 seltzer Saturday. Pool, darts, shuffleboard in a fun, clean atmosphere at Perfect Rack Billiards. It's your Jags game day headquarters. 10 wings and a pitcher for $20 and a free shot with every Jags touchdown. It's up to the Jags to score. It's up to you to have fun at Perfect Rack Billiards in Jacksonville.
You can make a difference in the lives of people living with lung cancer. Join the American Lung Association at our Lung Force Run Walk on October 14th to help us end lung cancer. Learn more at lungforce.org/Jacksonville. That's lungforce.org/Jacksonville.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Online at CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep, switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
It's Customer Appreciation Day for CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC on St. John's Bluff Road South. I was just thinking the other day, I've been with CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for over 7 years. The water is better with a Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. I've never had an issue with it, and I'm proud to be a customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Customer Appreciation Day Saturday will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Hourly giveaways, including a Connecticut K5 reverse osmosis system and Connecticut salt monitors. 15% off on salt and filter as well. Discounts on Connecticut systems, music and refreshments, and you can meet Jackson DeVille from 10:30 until 11:30. Visit cgcwater.com for more information. 904-552-1242. Again, cgcwater.com. Customer Appreciation Day on Saturday, this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Welcome back on a Thursday. Jags have DaVon Hamilton back on the practice field, which is kind of nice. I didn't fully expect that.
What you mean, kinda?
I didn't expect that to happen so soon.
Second best thing that happened to me today.
Oh, what's the first?
What was the first?
Don't worry about it.
Was it my story when you came in? I had a good story.
Now my mind is wandering.
Don't worry about it. DaVon, welcome back.
That's the best Kasey story is when Kasey's like, hey, here's a tease for a story I refuse to tell anybody.
I almost said so.
All right, Kasey, you want to mess around?
Don't say it.
This is what you get now. Zach Lyon in the chat. Can't wait to watch Purdy lose an absolute blowout because I'm sick of his stupid name. That's what you get.
What
Case?
Can you read that again? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Zach says he can't wait to watch Purdy lose in a blowout because he's sick of his stupid name.
To who? Have you watched them play?
He's just saying.
They would need 6 ACL tears to get blown out by anybody.
It's a lot of ACL tears.
Like, they are far and away the best team in the league. It's not even close. But shout out to you, my boy. Thanks for listening.
Who have they beaten? Dallas?
San Francisco?
Yeah.
They've beaten Dallas, yeah.
That's it.
It's how they've beaten people. Brent, comment?
Yeah, San Francisco's pretty damn good.
The roster would have you believe.
I think they can play a lot of people at quarterback and win, but I think Purdy's playing pretty damn good too. Seems like they got the right guy, even though they fell into it.
I got a fantasy.
Should we get into that?
I got a sit designation on Purdy for this week.
A sit designation?
Sit designation.
Who are they playing again?
I believe the Browns.
People have asked me realistically, do you think like the Jags, San Francisco, let's say Jags go on a run, they're either 5-3 or probably more likely 6-2.
Okay.
And at the break, and then they come out, they play San Francisco, and would they move that to Sunday Night Football?
Why not?
That'd be a great game.
I would say, I think no.
And that's in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Ooh, buddy.
So
game.
2 Sunday night games in a month in Jacksonville when they haven't been on for 12 years? I don't think so.
But it would be worth it. Why wouldn't the NFL do that?
What if San Francisco's still undefeated? Jags run the table up to the bye.
You got to get that game in prime time.
What is that? 6-2 versus 8-0? 9-0 if they don't have a bye?
Yeah, it'd be, probably 9-0. I just don't see it happening. Like, I don't know what else is even going on. That I just don't think the league's going to do it. I don't think NBC's going to be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. San Fran and Jags.
Why wouldn't they?
And we got the Jags coming up in another month. Like,
who's the game that week? Do we know?
You got marketable people. While you're looking, you got marketable quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. You got a marketable overall team in San Francisco. But like certainly Brock Purdy is an interesting story. Who's playing that week?
Give me the schedule. Give me the schedule. What is that, week number 9 or 10?
November 12 is the day of the Jags-Niners game.
You got, come on, internet. Your Sunday night game is the Jets and the Raiders.
Oh, you can't move that one.
Your Monday night game is Denver and Buffalo.
Yikes.
Teams on bye that week.
Okay.
Kansas City, Miami, Philadelphia.
Okay.
There's nobody else to watch.
All right, give me the other games.
By the way, the Jags-San Francisco game is at 1 o'clock. No chance that's happening.
Well, it
They'll move
definitely
that
could
one.
move the 4.
Yeah.
Definitely could move the 4.
What other good matchups are you saying?
Or just give me the other games, and I don't want a spin of your good matchups. I'll give you my good matchups.
Okay, that's fine. These games
He
suck.
doesn't trust you, Case.
Indy, New England.
All right.
Houston, Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, Minnesota.
Houston, Cincinnati could get interesting, by the way, depending on who Houston is. Okay,
Shut
go
up,
ahead.
Brent. Green Bay, Pittsburgh.
Yuck.
There you go.
Tennessee, Tampa.
Yuck.
San Francisco, Jacksonville.
Nice.
Heard of it.
Cleveland, Baltimore.
That could be a good game.
Atlanta, Arizona.
Hold on. AFC North rivalry. Both teams pretty good. Like, that could be a really good game.
Boring style of football, but could be a good game.
Cheapest ticket, $17. I told you Atlanta, Arizona.
Yuck.
Detroit, Chargers.
There you go.
That's a good game.
What do you mean, there you go? What are you talking about? The Chargers can't beat anybody.
But it's an offensive powerhouse game.
Yeah, you're not going to go Cleveland, Baltimore because it's a defensive, muddy, ugly game.
10-7 game. Yeah, sure.
Chargers, Detroit,
40 to 33
is getting jumped over the Jags and Niners. Easily. Go ahead.
Washington, Seattle. Dallas, Giants.
Yeah. I mean,
what are you talking about? Detroit Chargers. Like anybody cares.
You know,
their
Dallas
coach is going to be fired by then. What are you talking about?
Dallas Giants is the Monday night, or is that a Sunday game?
4:25.
So that's another one, even though the Giants stink, that they would possibly consider moving just because of the audience sizes and the rivalry between those two teams. But I don't think it jumps the Chargers game or the Jaguars game.
The Lions have one other Sunday night game against Dallas on December 30th.
It's a good game, too.
I'm sorry, that's a Saturday night. Oh, that's an ABC game. So they don't even have another Sunday night game. So, again, my point of it is this. There's two things working against the Jags here. Jacksonville's, well, three things. The way people perceive Jacksonville. Secondly, Jacksonville plays a month later on Sunday Night Football against Baltimore.
Cut that one.
And then thirdly, I think the fact that San Francisco, by that time, if they're still undefeated, enrolling people, from an executive standpoint, you're like, well, this could turn into a blowout. Do we want a blowout? Because San Francisco seems that much better than everybody else. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Oh, yeah, but that's what you got to think about. Like when we pick games, even when I try to pick games that people will like, it certainly factors in. Like, okay, is this going to be a blowout game or not?
I find it hard to believe that the most exciting offensive and defensive roster in football and the executives are like, we want nothing to do with it. I find that hard to believe. Like, if it was the Niners versus whomever, the Cardinals, even though that was a close game, I'd be like, all right, fine.
You're missing it. Like, but the Detroit Chargers game, it's going to be like 34-31 right now.
I'm with you on that.
Like, right now. The possibility exists. Like, I had people last week telling me, can we not play the San Francisco game? That's how good the 49ers are. And they just had them on, and it was 42-10 on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So let me look up one other thing on here.
Brock Purdy got a lot of airtime that night. By the way, until they play Jacksonville, they go Cleveland, so they win again. Minnesota, they win again. Cincinnati.
Well, wouldn't you pick them to beat like everybody on their schedule right now?
Cincinnati, and then Jacksonville.
All right, so here's another
They're definitely
thing.
losing one of those games.
All right, they're also, San Francisco has already played a Sunday nighter, and then on top of that, they're playing Thanksgiving night at Seattle on NBC. And then that is it. They do have a Monday night game, but
the Jets are scheduled to be in primetime 6 times.
Yeah, I'm going to say this argument doesn't work for that. We've seen the Giants every week in primetime. They've played one game not in primetime somewhere.
Yeah, but this does matter, I think, from a TV exec standpoint, like because you're playing on Thanksgiving, and then what's the date of the Jags game? That's November 12th. So that means 11 days later you'd play on NBC again.
That is a factor.
Every 7 days we're seeing the freaking Giants.
Is that a real thing? Like, what's the non-exaggeration version of that?
Hold, please. I'll pull it up.
Because the 11 days thing rings truer in my ears then. This might be a blowout, but if we're seeing the Giants often, then they obviously don't give a crap.
Giants are at Buffalo this Sunday. The Giants are against Green Bay Monday Night Football on
Okay.
So that's 2.
Giant. Are you doing Giants?
Yeah, they have 2 more games in night games.
That's not my point. Sunday night, week 1.
Right.
Thursday night, week 3. Monday night, week 4. And now again Sunday night.
The Thursday, Monday.
So they're 5. It's 5 different times.
Yeah.
What is
like
going
within days is Casey's point.
But they haven't had a player play yet. Get rid of it.
If the Jags get, if they even get to 5-3, I think that game does get flexed to 4:00 in the afternoon. Which, by the way, is a disadvantage. You actually rather play that game at 1:00 because it's like 10:00 San Fran time, right?
What about this? What if they roll off the wins 6-2, and the offense is cooking?
Yeah, Lawrence, bro, prime time.
I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest with you.
I think it's a no-chancer.
I don't know how to bet about it.
Well, you can't with him, but you can just...
Yeah, because he won't pay.
Right. You could theoretically bet about it.
But we have no real proof other than if it happens or if it doesn't. Like he said, there's a no-chancer. There's a chance. There's a chance.
To me, no-chancer equals like 10-1 odds.
Just to confirm, Zach Wilson will play probably whoever's the backup for Jimmy G because he'll be hurt again.
Either Aiden O'Connell.
Yep.
Or who's the other guy?
Stidham. Wait. 10-1 odds.
Ooh.
On a $5 bet.
Okay.
What is that? 50 or 5?
50.
$50 for you. $5 for me.
That's like 17 Justin Fields rookie cards.
Okay, there's no planet where I wouldn't do that, but okay. So what?
So that's it.
What happens if it goes to 4:00? I'll give you $3. You give me 25. We were both kind of right.
Who knew Casey was a genius?
No, we're not moving. No, this is a
both kinda
nighttime thing.
I like it. Casey's like, let's compromise.
All right, forget it. I'll take it.
I think they'll flex the move to 4:00 like right now. I think the Jags are 1 win away from getting that game flexed to 4:00. I say that, but it is Dallas and the Giants, and it doesn't matter if the Giants stink.
That's
it's Dallas and the Giants, and
those are big
is
markets.
Anybody going to move for that? It's hard to pull Dallas and the Giants, Dallas off anything. So I don't know if CBS has another window now. Is that game on Fox or CBS, the Jags?
Yeah,
Fox.
that's the other thing that plays into this.
So then, they're not moving. They're not moving that New York Giants versus Dallas game that's already a 425er.
But they have Washington, Seattle at 425.
Oh, that's the game that's 425?
No, they're both 4. Fox has 2 425s that week.
Oh.
Dallas, which they're not moving, and then Washington, Seattle. In Seattle, by the way. So disadvantage Washington if they move it.
They almost have to move it, right? Don't they always play the West Coast games at 4? Do they ever? They don't start any of them at 1. Yeah, because that'd be a 10:00 game in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can't move either one. The Jags are stuck. They're playing a 1:00 game.
You can move it because you could go to nighttime. I don't know where you're putting the Raiders.
Nah, you're not going nighttime.
You already lost the bet case.
If you move off the Raiders game.
It's bad?
If you move off the Raiders game.
What you mean?
You're going Detroit in the Chargers. That's if you're moving off the Raiders game.
That's in L.A. or
it's in L.A.
Detroit. Okay.
So.
No.
Anyway, I don't think now. I thought it for sure would move to 4. Now just looking at that, I don't even think there's room to move it to 4.
Fine, Monday night.
Casey, I'll make you a bet. 5-1 odds. You lose this bet you just made with Brent. $5.
So what do I get?
You get 25 if you win the bet with Brent, and I get 5 if you lose the bet with Brent.
What do I get?
So this is a total commitment when you lose of $10. But if you win both, or if you win one, you win both.
So I either lose $10
or win 75.
I'll take it.
Yeah. We're making money off this kid. Let's find something else to take.
I know. Call in if you want to make a bet with Casey on
something.
Do you want to make a shoulder bet with Casey here on our bet? Because right now he's signing up for anything if you tell him he could win more than $20.
They're playing at night. I don't care what you say. They're playing at night.
Casey, can you buy us 10 lottery tickets on Friday because you could win $20 million?
Not a chance. I'm out on that. This I feel good about. They're going to flex it. Jags are going to run it off. Going to have undefeated San Francisco against whatever in 2 Jacksonville. Trust me, boys. I've seen this one already.
I love it. I do wonder how they can if they flex, they can move to Fox to CBS. You know what I mean? Because they're not restricted as much as they used to be. They just would have to make up for it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So possibility they could even do that, I guess, without even looking at the schedule. But
by the way,
again, I think the Jags want it at 1:00. They probably want the game at 1:00. Gives them a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We didn't get to talk about it, but the Thursday night game that week is Carolina-Chicago. That might be the worst football game ever played.
Do people flex? They don't flex to Thursday, though, right?
You can't.
Yeah,
they voted on that.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I think.
The reason why I even bring this up today is because I've got our sales guys asking us, too, down at TV, because they, of course, don't want to lose the game.
Why don't you bet with them?
And I already told them, I said, I don't think there's a chance that's moving to the night.
You know why this is scum? Because Brent gets to make calls on games that they put on TV.
Well, I don't get that call.
They're going to be like, hey, Brent, we're thinking about moving. He's like, no, I can't do it.
I love that you give me that kind of power. I appreciate that.
You think he's stopping the train from rolling?
Also, bro, you look like a highlighter today. Why did you wear that?
You look great. You look great.
You're like super bright.
I got tiger red on today.
That's red?
It's not red?
It's red.
That's orange.
It's not orange.
It does kind of come off funny sometimes on the TV.
On the camera, it's orange.
I mean, on TV or the camera,
It's just saturation.
I appreciate you, bro, defending me here.
You are very handsome.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. We'll have 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. All you have to do is enter the correct keyword at ESPN690.com to be eligible to win. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. ESPN 690 pays your bills. Sponsored by Arlington Toyota with over 800 new and used vehicles available. Weekdays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 and 5 p.m. Tune in to win from ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pages right now.
Thomas's translation company just lost its only 2 Spanish speakers. Without the right replacements, he'll be in problemas.
Yeah, we'll have those ready. Tonight's gonna be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The pandemic is over, but COVID-19 is here to stay. In fact, it's still among the top 5 leading causes of death in the U.S., just after heart disease and cancer. So this fall, stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Valor Bare Knuckle is back in Jacksonville. The legend Ken Shamrock playing host, and the card is highlighted with a heavyweight bout. Valor Bare Knuckle highlights combat sports in its truest form. It's one night, October 27th, and it's at UNF Arena, an intimate setting surrounding the electrifying bout circle. October 27th at UNF Arena. For ticket information, go to valorbk.com. Don't miss it. Raw, electric, exhilarating. Valor Bare Knuckle 2 in Jacksonville, October 27th, valorbk.com.
This is Ortho Health Insights, tips for life in motion, brought to you by the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Upwards of 80% of people will experience some sort of back or neck pain and say it interferes with their daily activities in life. Back and neck pain can often improve with self-care. A steady routine of cardio exercise, like walking, has been proven to reduce back and neck pain. Also, working on improving your quality of sleep and posture can help. A restful night's sleep on your back can help you feel less sore during the day. If you are experiencing chronic back or neck pain and it is caused from an injury or an accident, the orthopedic physicians at JOI are experienced in diagnosing the cause and treating your pain. Whether you need a course of physical therapy or surgery, JOI can help. Call 904-JOI-2000. That's 904-JOI-2000. Or go to JOI.net. JOI is the official sports medicine provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers. They take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with DeVoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit DeVoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County, or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with DeVoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and friction and reduce wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99. Limit supply. See store for details. Get Syntec only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. Customer Appreciation Day at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing coming up on Saturday. That is this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Jacksonville out there from 10:30 to 11:30. Save 15% on salt and filters. Going to have hourly giveaways, including a Kinetical K5 reverse osmosis system, like the one I have at my home, and Kinetical salt monitors as well being given away. Music and refreshments, discounts on systems. Check it out. St. John's Bluff Road, 2181 St. John's Bluff South. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. right here in Jacksonville. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts. You guys all right in there?
Yeah, I just more betting coming in on the chat right now for Kasey. Andy Cray wants to bet Case 50 pounds.
50 pounds.
Chelsea doesn't make it to the European football this season.
But he can win 500 pounds.
They are not making it. They suck.
All right, he doesn't want to take the bet.
They didn't resurrect their season against Fulham?
No, they suck.
You said that.
They're the worst. I'll bet they get relegated. Which is, God, I should actually just do that.
You think they'll get relegated? Now, that would be some monster news.
I think they stink. They're really bad. They got stuff. They got to figure something out.
Hey, hockey season started.
Yeah, I watched some.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah, Connor.
Should I know more about hockey?
Connor Bedard, yeah. The GOAT. The next GOAT. Join the league.
Why should Kasey? Why should Brent know more about hockey?
He covers sports for a living.
Yeah, but he doesn't cover hockey for a living.
I know the Icemen get going tomorrow night, preseason and Saturday, and then they open next Saturday. The Icemen do.
Sure, Brent, and we're friendly with them, and we go to those games, and you talk about it when they're on a winning streak, but we're not talking about player stats every day.
Because maybe the best player to ever play sport just entered the league. He's got that much hype.
Really? He's got more hype than
McDavid, yeah.
And Crosby has had? Really?
Yep.
What's his name?
Connor Bedard.
Oh, he just someone in the chat just wrote that. Bedard.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that just signed like an 8-year deal?
They all sign 8-year deals. That's how hockey works.
Oh.
I'm dead serious. Everybody signs 6, 7, 8-year deals.
Isn't it crazy the money in hockey versus the other sports? Like, it's not even close.
Here's what I love about hockey. My favorite part about hockey
it's like a day job.
Is the AAV is like not a huge number to your point. Like if you're making 10, you're like the goated dude on the team. But if you drive by a hockey, like if you drive by like the Tampa Bay Lightning parking lot, you know them boys are rich because they be spending on cars.
Oh, really?
I don't know what the deal is with hockey, but I'm telling you, you are not finding anything other than luxury in hockey parking lots. Every team in the United States and Canada. It's a weird thing, but they all do it. It's super dope.
All right, I have the top annual, that's by cash, total salary, top contracts in hockey.
Okay.
Nathan McKinnon.
Yep.
Leading the charge at $16.5 million.
That's huge. Colorado. I don't know. Is this a game?
Well, not really. Pasternak, Hamilton, Kaprizov. That's what I said.
Yeah, he's
Why
good.
try to correct me all the time? And Ovechkin. Ovechkin is still making bank, huh?
He's still playing?
Yeah, man said they both still play.
My gosh. Well, Sid, I could say more than Ovechkin. Ovechkin feels like he's 60.
He looks like he's 60. That boy needs some just for men.
He does look old.
Remember, didn't we do this on the show like last year or 2 years ago where you would give us
about hockey?
You would give us a hockey thing, and I have to see if I knew what
Hockey
it was.
thing. Oh, we did.
What was the thing that you gave him to see if he knew what it was?
Like, I don't know. It's like almost like
what's an example?
Like
oh man.
Like what happens when someone says an eggcorn just happened? Like that?
Nah, it was more specific to like I think he would play
It was a soundbite.
Like a soundbite, and I'd have to kind of figure out what team it was or who it could be.
And to be honest, Austin was actually a big help on that.
Was he?
Yeah, Austin helped.
Austin knows about hockey.
Well, he's from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, he's a big hockey
Dude, I had that on my, because I had to open and everything. Hockey Talk is what it was called. It was a horrible segment. It was like the worst thing we ever did. But
wow, I don't know about that.
I had it.
That number's numerous.
That's fair. Especially
I'm
since we
curious
got aired.
what the worst thing we've done in the last year is.
I know exactly what it is. It comes right to mind. You both thought the exact same thing.
Okay.
It was 4 seconds. It was a moment. I had Hockey Talk still on the computer up until like a week ago when I got screamed at for never deleting anything, and I deleted everything.
Yeah, you really don't delete anything.
I took up like 300 gigabytes on this computer. Will was like, please.
Yeah.
Really?
Not into it.
I got rid of everything. So dang it, man. Hockey Talk.
So yeah, it was Hockey Talk.
Dang.
It's just so wild to me. And I understand there are big hockey fans, and hockey's fantastic. That's the other thing. Like, this isn't something that's like
says this every time.
Boring. No, it isn't. But I can't get into it. Like, I just can't. It did nothing for me that the season started the other day.
Yeah. Well, you're not alone. It's the least popular of the major sports.
It is.
Well,
and we're in Florida.
No,
like, listen, we're in the
least
Southeast.
popular of the major sports.
It depends on where you are.
Okay. That's not inaccurate. If you're in Boston, chances are hockey is probably more popular than it is in Nashville.
Nashville's pretty popular, but, made a decision there.
I know it's got a hockey team. I'm just saying, like, I would imagine other sports are more popular than hockey in Nashville.
Not like basketball. The NBA is irrelevant.
I bet it is. Well, they don't have a franchise, but I would bet you the NBA is more popular in Nashville than hockey is.
Oh, you'd bet me?
I would bet about it.
I don't think so.
Oh, bet about
You heard it. You heard it. I got to figure out a way to do
Give me
it.
$500.
You're going to lose this.
All right, we'll figure out a way.
5 to 1
There's
odds.
no way the NBA is more popular in Nashville.
They don't even got college. I mean, they got Vandy, but.
Well, they got like Lipscomb and
what does that have to do with anything?
There's no basketball to watch, is what I'm telling you.
Memphis is the closest.
Yeah, no football to watch here. Doesn't mean no one was a football fan.
You actually might get Memphis leaked into Nashville a little bit,
No.
Might? You get all Tennessee
More than
leaked
the
into Nashville.
Predators?
If you don't have a team in your city, you take the teams in your state.
They got a whole hockey team. Whole one. Good one for a while. I mean, not so much anymore.
I'm a stereotype here, though. I just don't know if like country music scene and NBA go together. I'm just not sure that's like a thing.
I mean, what'd you find out?
I'm looking through an article. Don't ask yet.
Is it PFF?
No, this is thetribune.com out of Nashville.
Oh, I'm sure they'll have the answer. But yeah, hockey's back, Brent. To answer the overall question, they're still playing it. Still pretty popular. Vegas won the Cup last year. You may or may not know.
Yeah, I do know that. I do know that.
And we're going.
But, for years and years, they talk about baseball and of like declining, and attendance numbers and not many people playing, like all those kind of things. And I was just like, I don't feel that because I live it. Like, I get it. Like, I live it. But the bottom line is, like, that has happened in the sport of hockey. Like, if you look at two sports that have declined since the early 2000s, I would say, like, NASCAR, because it hit such a peak. Like, NASCAR was so high. And then in hockey, like it, and I don't know if that's just my world because I moved from the Northeast and New England area to down here, but I think the numbers would say so too. ESPN has hockey, right?
Yes.
If ESPN didn't have hockey, who would talk about it?
Where would they even be?
Well, I mean,
outside. I mean, like in obviously Canada and everywhere.
I mean, else. NHL Network, but when it was on before ESPN got it a couple years ago, NBC and like NBC Sports Network, I still watched it.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like listen, you're
hockey's a good one. Hockey's a good one for like, because everyone's got their affiliate, right? Like Bally Sports Florida, has like the Rays, the Magic, and the Lightning, and they do their own like little shows. Like all of those shows, like the shows that you guys do on Fox CBS for the Jags, which obviously is massive. They just do them on Bally.
Yeah.
So it's, to your point, it's regional in that sense. Nobody's doing like the grand scale stuff. And now ESPN feels like they have to do more because they have the rights.
Right.
Maybe I feel like outside of like the Northeast, Canada, the hockey hotbeds, the Minnesotas, Wisconsins, everywhere else.
Where snow and ice actually happen?
Yeah, I think outside of that, if you don't have a hockey, like in Tampa, the Lightning are big, like really big.
They're the biggest thing.
But in Orlando and Jacksonville,
not when Brady
it's
was
not.
there. They're back.
Like Orlando and Jacksonville don't have baseball teams, but there are more baseball fans still in those areas than there are hockey fans.
Yeah.
Like by a lot, it feels like. Now, is that just because we're in the Southeast? I wonder if that's the thought around the country in other parts, like in Oklahoma and Arizona and Nevada. And, if you don't have...
Nevada
now is hot, right, because of Las Vegas. So
I will double down on my bet about it. I'll bet the NBA is behind MLS, too. They love Nashville up there.
Yeah, it just wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm seeing a lot of this team sold this many tickets compared to other teams. That's not telling me what I'm looking for, though.
Yeah, it's not. But
I'm still looking.
The crazy thing in all that is I still believe, like, this place could have a pro hockey team. So, like, I mean,
a pro hockey team.
I mean, an NHL team.
Yeah,
someday.
let's take the Panthers.
I really feel like in 15 years or whatever the time frame is, if we're going to get anything, it would be hockey. Because 17,000 seats is all you need. Like, this is perfect for that.
Yeah, you already have the arena, yeah.
You got the arena, you got the clientele. Like, you can do that. You putting 35,000 a night 81 times for baseball, that's a different story.
I used to think basketball would be good here, and then Team USA came with Kobe and LeBron and Carmelo Anthony, and nobody showed up to see the practice.
Well, and you're blocked a little bit by Orlando in that front, too, right? So you're not going to get it just because of that, most likely.
Yeah, most likely.
But NHL's the next way to go without question around here.
We'll take the Panthers.
We'll take a break. 4 o'clock hour coming up. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 in a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
Get into the game at Best Bet. Come enjoy the best in-card games, hospitality, and fun at Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park. You don't have to be a poker pro to have a great time. Featuring poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Pai Gow. Wager on exciting simulcast races and enjoy delicious food and drink. Our card rooms are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. and 24 hours on Saturday and Sunday. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
We're in the middle of it now, the fall season, as we hit October on the campus of the University of North Florida. Swoop with the Ospreys, soccer, cross-country, volleyball, golf, swimming programs, all in mid-season form. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. And coming soon, it's men's and women's basketball. The schedule is out, plenty of home games to attend. Bring the family. Season tickets are for sale. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFOspreys.com. And swoop for the Ospreys all season.
Hello out there, all you hard workers. It's me, Pete the Job Guy.
And Angie, the boss.
And together we run Ascendo Resources, the best staffing agency in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's right, folks. We can help you with accounting, finance, technology, administrative, anything you need, we can help on a temporary, temp to hire, and permanent basis. So call the true professionals today at 904-663-2654 because you deserve it.
Frank, you got to come see my new windows from American Window Products. They're beautiful and they keep the house so cool.
Oh, slow down, Jim.
No, Frank. American Window Products is having a sale right now, and you said you wanted a locally owned business with qualified products and professional installers. Well, American Window Products has all that and more.
More?
Yes, selection and great prices at American Window Products.
Whoa, what's that number?
731-2247, a family-owned business since 1981. Check them out at AmericanWindowProducts.com. Call them, Frank.
I'm calling American Window Products right now, Jim.
I'm Nick DeLuca. The Phillies can advance with a win tonight. Reigning NL champs can move on for a second straight year with a victory against 104-win Atlanta. Coverage at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Top seeds have had some trouble with a long layoff in the postseason. Three-time World Series champ David Ortiz thinks it plays a factor.
Well, who have better offensive team than the Braves? Nobody. I mean, these guys, they lead the league pretty much on every category. And they can get a hit to save their life as of right now. You know what I'm saying? And I blame that on momentum. I blame that on the break.
Ortiz on Carlin versus Joe. Elsewhere, X-rays negative for D-backs catcher Gabriel Moreno. Left yesterday's win with a hand injury. Should be ready for the NLCS. Blue Jays GM Ross Atkins will return to the team. Jays president Mark Shapiro says the team wants improved playoff results after being swept in the wild card round. In the NFL, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce expected to play tonight against the Broncos, listed as questionable with a foot injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Cannon. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why my favorite team's season is over. Sorry, Giants fans. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me. Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Welcome back, 4 o'clock hour. We got some trees cut down. And Aaron Schachter, he was hoarding them. He's got the notes.
My bad. I was busy trying to prove Kasey wrong.
Homework guy. Oh, you guys were swearing at each other? I mean, there's stuff going on.
I wasn't swearing at Kasey. My wife was.
See, I used to be concerned about that. I'm not concerned about a hot mic situation because I'm on the board.
Yeah,
I'm really good at this.
You get the dump button.
Gosh,
I'm more concerned.
We all better be careful now. He just put it on him. He put the whammy on himself.
I am the first person to tell Kasey he stinks at something. But when it comes to that dump button, I've seen this man with precision not be paying attention to anything
and get it
and still nab that button.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing there. What I'm worried about, but not really, is the cameras picking up audio because we've had that scenario happen before.
Yeah. But then you're all right on the stream, right?
Yeah, who cares?
FCC doesn't live on the stream?
Well, yeah, I'm not necessarily worried about the FCC. More so people just getting mad about something I said.
Or I said, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be all right.
All right, highlighter.
I just pulled my headphones out, so I can't hear anything now.
Oh. I called you a
Sorry
highlighter.
to talk over you.
All right, we're just waiting, I guess.
Well, you guys are supposed to fill that time.
Oh, I was going to say we should do another poll, but this time on your shirt. I mean, Kasey doesn't like it.
Look like a highlighter, yes or no?
Looks good.
I can't wait.
I really feel like this shirt is fine.
See, I just want to put this in his head, so then when he goes to go on TV, he has it in the back of his mind.
I wasn't wearing it anyway. I got a button-down shirt.
TV, yeah.
Oh. Wow.
I was thinking about it.
It looks fine. You should wear it on TV.
Hey, Brent.
Those cameras probably are a little white balanced better.
Oh,
and I'll be in the distance.
He just talked smack about your setup, Aaron.
Well, actually, I'll take that, and it's earned. But also, these are $100 webcams.
Compared
it's no big deal.
We paid $100.
I paid nothing for it.
Shout out.
Hey, DaVon Hamilton's back.
Yeah, I've heard about this kid. You got to tell me more.
40-minute tease. Let's do it.
Listen, we'll let everybody else criticize, not you. We're talking about important stuff like flexing the Jags to Sunday Night Football or not.
I'm going to make $75.
Or DaVon flexing those defensive muscles.
I think it's a big deal to have him back. Again, this is part of the reason I actually started this show by saying I feel good about where the Jags are at because I feel even getting Smoot and Hamilton back are a little bit of a boost, even though I'm not buying a ton of production
so you think
from those guys.
A morale boost is what you're talking about.
I do. I think it gives you – it does a couple things. Gives you a morale boost, like you're saying. I think Smoot's a very well-liked guy in that locker room. I think he's been very productive. I think the fans like him. Hamilton was really playing well before all this happened with his back. And so, yeah, I think that gives you a boost internally. It says, hey, we're playing good defense. We might even be getting better. I think from the fan standpoint, it's all right, listen, our one concern is do we have enough pass rush? Well, one of the guys that's led the team in sacks the last 4 years is coming back. The internal push that will help the other guys out, he's coming back at some point. So we have the opportunity to be even better than we already are. What I think is a little bit dangerous here is to just pencil them in for what they've been and done. That's the danger to me.
Sure.
That's the danger to me for the front office. Maybe for the fans too, but especially for the front office. You cannot, if you're Trent Baalke and if you're Mike Caldwell and Doug Peterson and everybody else that's going through this thing and looking at where they're at, you can't just say, hey, don't worry. We don't need anybody else. We're getting these guys back. Because I really don't feel like you can rely on their production to be the same coming off the significant injuries we think they had. And I say we think because we really don't even know how DaVon Hamilton's situation is going to impact his ability to come right back in and play.
Even if it wasn't significant injuries, the reality is it's been significant time off.
Well, that's fair enough too, right? Very significant for Smoot. And I mean, what's your expectation, guys? That's the point. What's the expectation of Smoot and potentially Hamilton in a few weeks coming back?
Will Hamilton play at the same time as Roy Robertson Harris, or are these guys switching back and forth?
No, he's same time. Yeah, same time.
Yeah, so then
Foley will be the odd man out there.
All right, so then at least you got a little more of a fresher, high-level rotation as you get into the game, but I still think it'll be weeks with him on the field before you see, like, significant production if it's coming.
Kasey?
They'll be better with him? Is that what you're saying?
I just wanted to know
what's the expectation? What do you think you'll see?
I think as a whole they'll be better. Not immediately,
At
but
what?
I think everything. Stopping the run, the pass rush. I think they will get I won't say immediate, but I will say a semi-immediate, a game and a half in, solid push from the interior because, like the last time we saw him, he was solid. He was great. He was dominant in the preseason at the end of last season. So I would believe that after some of the rush shakes off, there will be some. So give it a game and a half. This guy's going to be dominant.
How many sacks do the Jags have right now? Do you know?
I could look at him.
I mean, Josh
9.
has 6.
I think it's 6, 2, and 1.
Is that what it is? Is that all it is?
Yeah, I think so.
They
Maybe
only,
6, 2, 1, and 1.
So they only have like 3 guys that have sacks?
Chason, Trayvon,
and
Josh. Somebody might have a half.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not much. I think it's 9. I could be wrong.
Is that better or worse than you would have expected at this point if we asked you in the offseason?
Well, in reality, it's pretty much on a pace that would be decent. I just thought you'd have more players involved in that.
Josh with 6, Trayvon with 2, Caleb with 1.
6, 2, 1.
Yeah, so I thought you'd have maybe by this time Fadakasi or Roy Robertson Harris might have one. Maybe you get one out of blitzing. You know, like Herndon's come really close. So
Jenkins
or
has come
Rayshon
close
Jenkins,
twice,
right?
Feels like should be a half in there somewhere.
I guess at the end of the day, so far, and I know everybody's got their eyes on Trayvon, but from the pass rush standpoint, I don't know if we're still seeing enough out of Roy Robertson Harris and Foley Fadakasi.
I was going to say,
hang our hat on.
Foley, I don't think has really played up to the level of the contract.
He had the best game. Well, he hasn't. In totality, he definitely hasn't.
Right.
He had a good game against Atlanta. That was like one of his most noticeable games. But even Roy Robertson Harris, I think I haven't seen him as much as I thought. Now, there's an element to this that they're not going to always get the numbers, right? I think everybody knows that. I mean, folks that watch the Jags all the time, you guys understand football that that guy's probably not going to have 7 or 8 sacks anyway. That's not really their job. It's more to cave it and help out the eyes on the outside and force the quarterback outside the pocket or to move from the spot, all that stuff. And then on top of that is the run. Well, this team has been very good so far through 5 games against the run. So they are doing their job and forcing into 3rd and longs. Like, that's part of the job. They're not as highlighty and sexy in terms of the sack numbers or hits maybe that people want. I just think there's another notch to go. And so when we ask the question of DaVon Hamilton and DeJuan Smoot, I don't put a number on it. I instead say, will those guys help increase the flash plays of players like Fadakasi, Roy Robertson Harris, Trayvon Walker? Because right now we're seeing a bunch of flash from Josh Allen. But will they increase that? So when these guys get inserted back into the lineup, maybe they do make a sack or make a big play or something like that. But because they're back inside the lineup, does that make 95 and 94 and 44 show up a little bit more from your eye test than has happened? I think that's where your boost can come from these guys in particular, more so than, oh, yeah, wait until you see what they do against the run now, or wait until you see how many more sacks they get. I don't think that's going to be the case. I really don't. I think it adds to your depth. I think it adds to your energy. It adds to your motor. It adds to experienced guys coming back in and knowing the defense, all that stuff.
Sure.
But I just don't think it adds to, well, wait a minute. Now you got 9 sacks through 5 games. Once you get both these guys on board, it's going to be 19. That can't be your expectation. Again, with these guys coming off pretty significant loss of time on the field and also injuries that they have. But I do think we might see a better Foley. We might see a better Roy Robertson Harris from a splash standpoint than we have seen yet. And I think if they do that, the way this defense is already playing, like, that's good enough. That's really a good enough boost.
Yeah. And with a guy like Hamilton working his way back, a guy like Smoot, his return impending, all this talk about adding someone at the deadline or possibly finding a trade piece, like, where do you shove them? Where are you putting them?
Yeah, and that is a fair question. Fair question. What a lot of people want that answer to be is go get somebody on the outside and push Trayvon down.
Into a hand in the dirt.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what they want to happen. But I don't know if that's what would happen, depending on who you go get, right? And I think the point of, like, where else? If that move isn't the one that's being made, Aaron.
Yeah.
Then who's coming off the field?
Foley
is a $10 million guy. Roy Robertson Harris is now a $10 million guy. DaVon Hamilton's a $10, $11 million guy. Like, who is coming off the field in favor of whoever they're going to trade for? That's probably a question that they're asking themselves. But
I also imagine if they believe in Hamilton and Smoot in the way that we know they do.
Yeah, but I told them don't do it.
They may consider
that's dangerous.
They may consider those guys the acquisition piece that a trade would be.
I get that. I think that's a dangerous place to think. I really
Me
do.
too.
Coming off,
well,
these
you don't know what you're getting when they come back.
You really don't. And again, I don't think it's fair to them to expect that they're going to be boom exactly what they were. I mean, heck, we're still wondering if Calvin Ridley, he's had very good first half, 2 subpar games, comes back and makes some big catches, touchdown, and now he's had a big day the other day. We're still wondering where that is after this guy's been off and really mostly healthy for the last year now.
Yeah.
So to have these guys come back and just suggest that they're going to be our upgrade, dangerous place to be. But I do think this gives them pause on who to go get because they're already so invested in what they got up front.
Yeah.
That will take some kahunas now to be like, listen, we know we're invested, and it's not that we made a mistake. It's just that we think we can get this much better if we go get somebody else. That's going to be the curiosity.
Unless the trade includes one of those pieces, which you're not trading the guys coming back from injury, but maybe a Foley Fadukasi finds his way to another roster via a trade or something.
I would say most likely not, because you know what the other team wants? Draft capital.
Every team, yeah.
Right? They don't want to take on a $10 million salary.
Yeah.
They want draft capital.
Unless it's a contract thing. Unless it's like you're taking on a 3-year contract guy and you're giving up, this is an expiring deal guy, yeah.
What do you say, Kasey?
Said you get better picks if you take money.
You also get better picks if you take worse players. Because eventually you'll just pick higher. That's how the Bears are doing it. So
thank you. Appreciate that.
I think this is going to be fun to watch, though. To see how much impact these guys make. First of all, when DaVon Hamilton comes back. Like Smoot, I think is going to play this Sunday.
Wow. It's going to be electric.
And if he plays Sunday, now again, they'll have to make a move somewhere along the way. But if he plays Sunday, DaVon Hamilton, I don't think he's going to be ready for next week. I still would say.
You have a feel on the move?
On the move, who it would be?
I'm not like literally asking you if you have a feel. Like I that's exactly what I said to you. So that's not what I meant. I'm not asking for info.
The practice squad move is what he's. Are you asking who's going to the practice squad?
I'm saying if Brent is making the move.
Yeah,
because like you're not, in my opinion, you're not pulling an offensive lineman. Like,
well, what I would do, I mean,
like
do you need like Elijah Cooks,
Tyler Lacey,
or who's number 90? Blackson?
Yeah, dude, he plays a lot.
He does play a lot.
All right, we'll see ya. I mean, is that?
Well, no, that's probably those are probably the guy. Like, but I would say even like Elijah Cooks. Like, what's the point of him being on the active roster? Is it just to save him from the practice squad and getting scooped up? Are they still concerned about that?
Well,
we haven't talked about him in like 6 weeks.
And like at some point, you just gotta.
Well, I mean, not only do you have to move the guy that's inactive on game day. Like if you make the move to Cooks, right? But you still have to inactivate somebody on game days. I guess is more so what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, the
right, like Cooks is on the roster, but I never think he's inactive.
He's always going to be inactive, but they're trying. Obviously, they're afraid they're going to lose him.
Because Smoot and DaVon Hamilton are clearly active in playing in the football game. So there's 2 guys that you're running out there with on Sundays that you're not anymore.
I would suggest Gotsis and probably a guy like Blackson, number 90.
Blackson with 22 snaps on the year.
Is that all he has? Okay, then it's definitely him. Probably.
I feel like he's out there all the time.
I said definitely, then probably. So
Gotsis with 28, by the way.
What is Tyler Lacey?
28 sacks.
Yeah, Lacey's at. I'm sorry. You know what? That's by week. I'm an idiot. All right, let me give you new numbers.
Cool.
I feel like they are playing quite a bit.
He's out there,
and Lacey's played a bunch. But those guys aren't showing up much. Blackson's
at 104 on the season.
Yeah, he's played a lot.
He's plays a lot.
Gotsis at 115 on the season.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
and what are you looking up, Lacey?
Blacklock, who's also a defensive tackle, 6 on the season.
Okay, well, there you go.
Tyler Lacey at 33 on the season.
It's a draft pick, though.
He's a draft pick, but you could potentially move him down to the practice squad. But then he'd have to clear, I think. That's how that works. So, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what they're going to do. We're in the very vicinity, right? I mean, they're most likely going to replace the defensive front and lose 2 of the defensive front guys.
Yeah, basically.
What about a linebacker that gets pushed down?
They don't have one to spare.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No.
So it probably is. Who'd you just say? No, Blacklock.
Blacklock, Ross Blacklock.
Yeah, that was a late ad, like right before the season.
Yeah, he played.
And obviously hasn't played very
6 snaps first week, hasn't played since.
Has he been on there active? He's on there 53, but he's been inactive. I think he's been active. Has he been on the team? Are you sure he's on the team?
He's on this list.
It's funny how you can like watch every game and not notice some of the guys.
Well, if they're never on the field. I don't see him in the...
Yeah, I don't think...
Huh.
Let me go check.
Yeah, let me go to the actual source.
Angelo Blackson. He's number 90. He's been the guy that's played, you said, over 100 snaps, which is pretty wild. And he's shown up a couple of times. I mean, not crazy a lot, but he's shown up a little bit. Yeah, what's his name's not even on. Yeah, he's not even on the roster.
Yeah, so we're talking about Foley, Ledbetter, Hamilton, Harris, Blackson, Gotsis, Lacey. That's what you're working with.
Yeah. Again, it'll be interesting to see what they do with a guy like Gotsis, because they've kind of yo-yoed him a little bit over the years, like almost like not afraid somebody would pick him up, and then he comes back to Jacksonville and signs again after they let him go. So could that be a potential play? We'll see. Anyway, I think the next few weeks are really interesting in Jacksonville on that front in 3 respects. One, do they play the way they've been playing on defense as a whole? And they certainly play some teams that could make you think they're really good. I mean, Indianapolis, if they slow down the run, isn't a dangerous offense. New Orleans has not been a dangerous offense at all this year. And Pittsburgh has not been a dangerous offense this year. So you've really got the next 3 games to showcase this defense. And, I mean, by the time you hit the bye week, their defense might look really good.
Yeah.
And maybe even better than it is from a statistical standpoint. The other thing is how good and how immediate of an impact can a guy like Smoot make and then Hamilton makes when you get there. And then how does this team feel right around Halloween time about all what I just said? Because then the trade deadline hits, and that's the time to make a move.
Yeah.
So it's really an interesting next few weeks in Jacksonville when it comes to the front of the Jaguars defense.
In the beginning of the year when you were telling us about these, not whispers, this feeling you had that a move might be made at the deadline, I always thought to myself that it always felt to me like there was too much money up in the air for this team to commit any more significant money at anybody. But I guess that's not necessarily going to be the case if you make a move at the deadline.
They got plenty of money.
Well, it's not about having money. It's about allocating the money.
Yeah. Well, they're like 16, 17 under the cap or something, aren't they?
Well, like the name today that's going around
Frank Clark.
out of Denver is Frank Clark, right? And he just actually restructured his contract to make it easier for him to get traded. Like the money where it is right now, which I think is less than $2 million at this point. That's, obviously it's not a move you get concerned with money on.
No, they're actually like trying to give him away.
Right. But like Donnell Hunter or some of those names, and Chase Young, I find it hard to believe they're going to go out there and make major cap moves when they have so much up in the air coming due at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's 2 ways to look at it. I think if you're going to get those guys, you have plans to potentially keep those guys. But we still don't know if they're going to keep Calvin Ridley after this year, if we're being honest, right? Like we have no idea. I don't have a good feel for that yet. You like to see it happen because then, boom, you got a guy for a long time with Trevor and along with everything else you've already got. So I could see it happening. But Josh continues on this path. He might be the guy that you pay. And you're not paying 2.
Right. You're not, well, unless you pay 0 receivers.
But
which doesn't make sense.
I will say this. The Jags have not been in this situation very often where it looks like they are all in on a season. Financially, contractually, all these other things, pushed money aside to create room for one more big move. And if it doesn't cost you a ton in draft capital and it makes some sense to go get Young or Hunter, you could see the half-a-year rental. I don't think it's an ideal situation, but I just don't know if I'd rule it out in this case if the Jags think like they are one of the teams. Again, if they're 6-2 and they're tracking that way toward the bye, if that's what they end up.
About to play San Fran at night.
How can you not look at that and be like, man, we can get this much better right here. It's worth it for a half a year and a third-round pick or whatever it might be.
Well, I think you can do that because if you're 6-2, chances are you got there because your defense has been good. You don't necessarily need to add to it.
It has, but I'll go back to yesterday's conversation in case he just reminded us of it. Yeah, it's one thing to be good against the Houston's, well, not even Houston really, but Indianapolis's, and they have been good against Kansas City. I get it. But doesn't it feel like they've got to get to a different level to go beat the Eagles or the Niners?
I think so, yeah.
Physically, they feel like they've got to get to a different level. And does a guy like Hunter, does a guy like Chase Young, do they offer that on top of what you already have? And I would say the answer there is yes.
I mean, whether you like Purdy or not, if they beat San Francisco, they would do something that no other team has done yet. So that's the level you have to get to.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, no,
can't argue with it. It's true.
Factually accurate.
If he stays in from front to back, nobody's
But
beat
I'm
him
not
yet.
necessarily ready to call Brock Purdy Tom Brady.
That's fine. I did. But here's the thing about the trying to make a move. I have a hard time believing the team that for years has told us how much they value 6th and 7th round picks is going to give up anything for a rental. I just have a hard time believing it until we see it.
Yeah.
I mean, they sort of did it for Calvin Ridley, but there was the idea that obviously he can still be still clearly we're still figuring that out.
And they did it to help their quarterback and everything else in the franchise. Right. There's more
so
reasons
that to me
that
wasn't, a rental. This would strictly be a rental because I don't think they're paying 2 guys. If it's Chase Young, if it's anybody that needs to be paid or is paid a high salary currently and someone's trying to get off of them, I have a hard time believing the Jags are paying both of those guys when they refuse to pay anybody to even help that position this offseason.
Yeah, now you're in a 5th year with Josh. And by the way, you got Tyson coming due in what? Next year or 2 years, you're going to have to extend him anyway.
Let me ask you guys this before we hit a break on this topic. Because I told you yesterday, and we just did it again a little bit, I think if you want to win a Super Bowl, which of course everybody wants to do, and if you think you're potentially there, and it's funny how we can now talk about this a little bit more because the Jags seem like they're back on track to where they need to go, even though they still have a long way to hit their ceiling. Mm-hmm. But there is this thought that as good as the AFC is and has a lot of contenders, nobody's on the physical presence level of the Eagles and the Niners. Nobody. They're just built different. Those teams are built different than anybody in the AFC. And by the way, Kansas City proved that you can beat them. So I guess the question is this. Forget about those 2 teams for a minute, and let's just talk about trying to get to a Super Bowl from the AFC. Do you need to get a pass rusher by the deadline, the way you're built and the rest of the league is built right now in the AFC, to go to the Super Bowl?
To win the AFC or to win the Super Bowl? You're saying just to go?
I said to go. Again, to win the Super Bowl, I feel like you might need that to get by San Francisco or Philly.
Okay,
but I do think they're on a different level from a physicality standpoint. I think a lot of the teams in the AFC are built kind of similarly. It's the Bengals, right? It's the Jags. It's the Chargers and the Chiefs. It's the Bills.
So I would,
and even the Dolphins.
I would respond to that. And when they lost to Kansas City last year, did you felt like if they had another pass rusher on the field that night, they would have won the football game?
I actually do feel that way.
Because if the answer is yes, then the answer is yes.
I feel that way, but only because Mahomes was hobbled. You had the best shot you were ever going to have at beating him up that day in that game. But Brent, to answer your question, looking at the rest of the schedule, Colts, Saints, Steelers, Niners, Titans, Texans, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Bucks, Panthers, Titans, you need a rush defense to be almost elite to take this schedule into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. Even in your own division between the Colts and the Texans and the Titans, you need to lock down the run before you're worrying about Tannehill. I mean, I know C.J. Stroud's been great, but he is a rookie. This may regress. You really don't know what that is this year. Clearly, the Colts are in between Minshew and Richardson, so you're not as concerned at the quarterback position. And then some of the other teams on this schedule, you have to stop the run before you're even looking at the pass. So I would be less concerned with pass rush on this team today than I would have been in the offseason coming into the season, even though we've seen the pass rushes really not necessarily non-existent, but amongst the lower pass rushes in the league as far as output and performance.
2 thoughts here for me, and want to go back to your question, Kasey. I don't come away from that game thinking if they had one more pass rusher, they win. Now, I'm not telling you they don't because of that. Of course, it would help. But I really came away from that game thinking if they make the interception against Chad Henne, they win the football game. Like, if they make another play and catch the ball with Hasty, they might win the football game. If they don't fumble the ball with Agnew, they might win the football game. Like, there are a lot of plays in that game that didn't just say Mahomes, and they actually got after Mahomes early in the first half to the point where he did get hurt. I think it was more tip of a cap to their offensive line for bowing up in the second half and saying, you ain't touching our guy. And you know what? We've seen many teams, even with good pass rushers, the Eagles, still not be able to do enough damage against Patrick Mahomes.
They couldn't get there.
Right? So you almost got to be able to outscore them in this essence. To your point, Aaron, I would say this, and I know you were just kind of presenting the rush. You got to be able to stop the run. They already do that. I think the evidence is there right now that they can win in the AFC without any more help by what they did against Kansas City and Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They've already played two very good teams and defensively did a great job. Now, ante up a little bit more when you get into January. Fully understand that.
I'll give you Buffalo. You can't count on Kansas City scoring, 17?
No, but the last 3 times they've played Kansas City, they've allowed 27, 27, and 17. They've done a halfway decent job against a team that's like the premier offense in the league, enough to give your football team that should have a premier offense in the league room to outscore them.
Just don't think you can bank on it.
Listen, I'm not telling you that it's not a good move to go get one and add to it. The question is, do you need to get to the promised land? To get to Vegas, do you need to make that move? And honestly, I don't think that answer is yes. To win in Vegas, I think the answer is yes. If you're playing the Niners or the Eagles.
Well, you play to win the game, they say.
I get it. I'd take them getting to the Super Bowl at this point and take my chances at the same time, though.
That's what the Eagles thought.
That's why. I mean, the Chiefs are actually a little bit of proof that, okay, maybe you don't need that. I mean, Jalen Hurts played excellent in that football game, and they still lost.
They did. Kadarius Toney, punt return.
We'll take a break. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. What are the betting favorites tonight? Speaking of the Chiefs, how many times will Taylor Swift be shown? Oh,
sweet.
ESPN 690. Next.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Rain will be gradually diminishing from west to east through this afternoon with a little leftover drizzle or a light shower into this evening. Temperatures tonight will drop into the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. Partly to mostly cloudy for Friday. A widely scattered shower or two and highs in the 80s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's incredible buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 31st.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville and all of Northeast Florida are fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. If you spot ESPN 690 anywhere in the community, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius.
In 1958, the world was introduced to Buddy Guy. Don't miss the legend live. The Damn Right Farewell Tour. Friday, October 20th, the St. Augustine Amphitheater. Special guest, Chris Stone, Kingfish Ingram. Tickets on sale now at theamp.com. The Damn Right Farewell Tour. Buddy Guy.
Car Bravo is here at Nimnick Buick GMC, a better way to shop used vehicles with transparent pricing. Nimnick Buick GMC has joined the Car Bravo family and is the only Car Bravo dealer in Northeast Florida. Hey, it's a win-win for everyone. You always win at Nimnick Buick GMC. I've always won 6 different cars purchased for our family. Terrific selection of used cars under $20,000 at Nimnick. Experience used for you with Car Bravo online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and friction and reduce wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99. Limits apply. See store for details. Get Syntec only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How are you? My name is Scott Van Pelt, host of SV Pod.
along with my partner in crime, Stanford Steve. What do we talk about mostly on the podcast, Steve?
Sports.
Some.
Parenting.
I feel like that comes up a lot. I feel like most recently I've needed some help because I feel like my shortcomings there are evident. It's life stuff, relatable content.
It's fun.
It's just two bald-headed goons just talking about nonsense a lot in a crowded podcast space. There's that one.
We're here.
Here we are.
This is Ortho Health Insights, tips for life in motion, brought to you by the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. You are never too old or too young to begin improving your orthopedic health. Elbow pain is one of the most common complaints from active individuals. Many experience elbow pain while at home or at work, or during their favorite activities like golf, tennis, and pickleball. Most elbow pain has a very simple cause and clears up within a few days. You can normally treat this pain yourself with over-the-counter remedies and a few days rest. Simple exercises can help reduce the risk of future problems. The JOI Orthopedic Elbow Specialists are experienced in diagnosing the cause and treating your pain. Whether you need a course of physical therapy or surgery, JOI can help. Call 904-JOI-2000. That's 904-JOI-2000. Or go to JOI.net. JOI is the official sports medicine provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's Customer Appreciation Day for CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC on St. John's Bluff Road South. I was just thinking the other day, I've been with CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for over 7 years. The water is better with a Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. I've never had an issue with it, and I'm proud to be a customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Customer Appreciation Day Saturday will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Hourly giveaways, including a Connecticut K5 reverse osmosis system and Connecticut salt monitors. 15% off on salt and filter as well. Discounts on Connecticut systems, music and refreshments, and you can meet Jackson DeVille from 10:30 until 11:30. Visit cgcwater.com for more information. 904-552-1242. Again, cgcwater.com. Customer Appreciation Day on Saturday, this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Denise is a Pilates instructor and a small business owner.
And a mom, too.
And at Community First, we get that. We get you.
So you can just be yourself.
To get the financial services you need, learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Stay with ESPN 690 for your chance to see and hear our special events in the Farah and Farah Performance Studio throughout 2023. Powered by Farah and Farah and ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Hey, tired of shopping those online dealers that overpromise and underdeliver? Nimnick Buick GMC proud to introduce you to Car Bravo, a better way to shop used vehicles online with transparent pricing. With Car Bravo, it doesn't matter what used vehicle you're looking for because they certify all makes and models. Nimnick Buick GMC proud to be named the #1 Car Bravo dealer in the Southeast region and top 10 in the country. If you're looking for a used car under $20,000, check out NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. Be ready for anything behind the wheel of a professional-grade GMC truck from Nimnick Buick GMC as well. Right now, save up to $10,000 off GMC Sierra 1500 Turbo Max. Plus, well-qualified buyers can enjoy rates as low as 0.9 APR financing on select GMC Sierra models. And one more note, if you're too busy, you know what I'm going to tell you to do. You can get an oil change from the comfort of your own living room. Nimnick Buick GMC now offers mobile oil changes. Just look them up, nimnickbuickgmc.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Mobile oil change, man.
You love the oil. We're going to do it. We're going to do that live on the show.
Here's a deal.
We're having Nimnick come by, and we're going to get the mobile oil
Will they change mine? Because here's the thing. Desperately need it.
Do you?
Dude.
He's sitting there with Play-Doh in his
Dude,
oil
my car,
chamber.
the car is sending alerts to Amanda's phone like, can you please change the oil?
Is that a real thing?
I'm not even kidding. So now Amanda's calling me every night. She's like, you the oil change? I'm like, no.
Oh, Kasey.
So I got a big so can you call him?
We're on to something, huh?
Like if they were out there right now, I'd be thrilled.
Well, or I'll just look it up at nimnickbuickgmc.com.
Or
I'll
that.
wait till the next commercial break to do that. Hey, one other note as we welcome you back to Brent Friends on ESPN 690. We have told you, and I think you know by now, that Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk will be at Jaguars All Access tonight. String Sports Brewery. Do want to let you know, first of all, drive safely getting over there with the weather, but we'll be there from 7 o'clock until a little bit after that. Show goes from 7 to 7:30. You can watch it on Fox 30. But I want to meet expectations, Kasey. Because
why Kasey?
Well, because you know
You're the
how this
graphic
works.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, you want me to do it?
Trevor and
All right.
Christian going to sign for kids only
Kids
tonight.
only.
That's Kasey. Kasey's only 26.
You can't get away for a kid.
No. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? I didn't get the Rays giveaways. They were 14 under when I was 12.
Really?
I
Yes.
bet Kasey's walking in there at 7'2", 10
Yes.
years old.
Wow,
It was so scummy.
Hello, sir. Can I have my Tampa Bay Rays?
And then my best friend got him until he was 17. Do you believe that?
Yeah,
Wow,
but
really?
he also didn't have a date until he was 25. So
Still hasn't. Shout
I know.
out Kev.
Listen, I know. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, so I just want to make sure we talk to the Jags today. We expect a big crowd, expect a lot of kids out there, and usually what we do anyway at Jaguars All Access is we always have the kids go first with the signings, and so we kind of feel like, it's usually about a 15-minute window, and then we let those guys go. So probably going to be kids for that entire time anyway.
what's the age cutoff to be a kid?
I don't know.
If a
But
kid
we have security there, okay, and I'm there too. So that's
Well, like, yeah,
more
what
security.
happens on the debate? Like, what if a dad gets
You
a little
must
bit
be
aggressive?
this tall to right. Like,
He's
do
like,
we
my
have that?
kid's a kid. And he's like 17 and a half.
We want to avoid that. That's why I'm sharing the message right now, okay?
You're very specific. What if a kid shows up with a full-size helmet? Are we going to believe it's the kids?
Well, I can't do anything about that.
What if Joey Porter's kid shows up in his full Pittsburgh uniform and shoulder pads? Does he get an autograph?
Why? Why'd he show up?
Well, just because he's a kid. He's like, oh, I heard you're signing for us.
So my name's Junior.
How long?
exactly.
How long are you going to keep Ducky on?
Bro, it's been 8
I'm
minutes
not
and
the one
40
who's
seconds.
not throwing to him. You're the one in the driver's seat.
I thought you
Whoa.
were supposed to take the reins here.
All right, everybody,
You're
welcome to the
driving
show.
the Duckmobile.
Welcome to the
that
show.
a thing?
Our winged friend, Ducky Betts.
Maybe he needs an oil change, a mobile one.
Duck, you need an
Full
oil
circle.
change? What do you got?
Nah, ducks don't use cars. We use our wings, man.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I would have thought you used cars.
The
Crazy.
Duckmobile.
Duck, how'd we do last week? Do you have last week's bets in front of you? I'm always curious about that.
I do. It was kind of a wash. I think we went 2-2 on the show.
Oh.
Because Dallas destroyed me that last week, man.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
killed
saw
me.
that coming. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I actually had something to say about that. Something about the Eagles and the 49ers. They just break every single betting rule. I don't know what it is with those two teams. They're just so good and they're just so stacked that you can't depend on overvalued spreads, trends, trap spots. None of that stuff matters with them anymore. So you kind of just have to take everything with a grain of salt with the Eagles and the 49ers, both teams. They're just so good, man. They catch a lead, they'll just sit on it. They'll drain 10 minutes and you're done.
And Brent, I don't know if you remember, but before you left for Lundin, we were talking about the betting trend of covering the spread in primetime games. It was some ridiculous number that was happening there.
Yeah, I
The
remember
under.
Ducky saying that.
Oh, it was the under, not covering the spread. It was the under. That's not the case in that last week game, was it?
Oh, no, not at all.
No.
I'm telling you, man, these 49ers, they're something serious.
Is there a trend, Ducky, right now going on that's like eye-popping around the NFL?
I would definitely say the international games have been catching my eye. So I'm actually looking, and I have a circle for the Ravens -4 this weekend. Reason being that favorites in international games, they're 77% straight up,
Wow.
and 65% against the spread. And if it's over a field goal, like the favorites over a field goal, it doesn't really change either. It's still 64% against the spread.
Not the Buffalo Bills.
Well, not the Buffalo Bills, yeah, but that was an unprecedented spot because the Jaguars were the first team to do two in a row, right? And then they stayed. They didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did go an hour and a half away, but you're right. They didn't have to travel across the Atlantic Ocean to play that second game.
And that's also why I like the Ravens. I don't know if you guys seen, but the Ravens are already there. They traveled there on Monday.
We were actually talking about this earlier. We didn't understand why more teams don't do that. It seems like it would just be a smart move to get settled in.
No, for sure. And the Titans aren't even going until Friday, I saw online. So that's definitely another advantage for the Ravens there. I think that Harbaugh got a little scarred the last time when he saw Duval out there in London and got destroyed 44-7. Probably taught him a lesson.
Oh, that's right.
It can be all or nothing for London sometimes, because just some people react well to it, some people don't.
Yeah.
Baltimore's a weird team right now.
Why do you think so? Yeah. Just because they lost to the Colts?
Yeah, no, because they lost to Pittsburgh.
I mean, the Pittsburgh. Yeah. It was late in the game. Like, the offense was sputtering. I did see the last quarter of this game. But, like, Pittsburgh did not win that game. They just outlasted Baltimore, and then the defense was able to secure a win. Special teams.
But here's the deal, Ducky. Like, if you look at the Ravens, at least from what I'm seeing, reading, everything else, they're a lot like the Jags were for the first few weeks, where the quarterback is not playing bad football, but for whatever reason, they can't score. They can't get the offense cooking. They're dropping passes. They're making some big-time mistakes. But you would point to Lamar Jackson if you don't watch right now the Ravens. That's not the case. He's playing good football, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's playing great. I think a lot of it was injury so far. Obviously, the Ravens are always injured somehow. I don't know what they've got going on over there, but last year was the same case, right? Where half of their team was injured for most of the season. But this year, it seems like they're dealing with a lot of injuries in the backfield and cornerbacks. And wide receivers, obviously, Odell, he's in and out. So he's inconsistent with that. And then they're depending on a rookie, Zay Flowers, to kind of lead the team there. And that's not easy for a rookie to do.
Yeah, but if you had to count on a rookie wide receiver to help lead the team, I would say Zay is a pretty good pick for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Ducky, one of the biggest spreads this week is happening tonight. I'm going to see the Broncos take on the Chiefs. I think the line is somewhere near 10.5. I don't know what it's at specifically right now, but are you looking at this game at all?
This is such a gross game, man. And another game with Taylor Swift in it. So the Chiefs are going to show out, man.
What's the prop bet on that?
Yeah, you had to do props over-unders on Taylor Swift tonight.
The line has to be at least 10.5, right? Of her being on screen. At least
on screen shots, yeah.
10.5. It's better be more than that. Yeah. Casey was disappointed last game. She wasn't shown more.
I don't think she was there at the last game.
No, I meant the last game she was at. She only goes to primetime games apparently now.
Maybe she just hates Minnesota.
Yeah, she's doing it for the screen time, man. But no, this game, I'm not on the spread, but I would say it's a kind of you just hold your nose, you bet the Broncos, and you hope that they cover because it's just a divisional dog. But I'm not with that, man. I'm not going to touch this on the 10-foot pole. There's just too much, I guess, variance there. But there's a lot of wins, so it does play to the under and the divisional dog there on prime time.
Some of the prop bets that we've been seeing Taylor and Travis over the last couple of weeks would be the primary color of Taylor Swift's outfit on the top half, the torso. Red, gold, white, or other is usually the choice there. How about who will say Taylor Swift first? Which broadcaster? Or will Taylor be shown during the first quarter? Yes, usually the favorite there.
By the way, this is Amazon's chance to show Taylor Swift. So they haven't had the chance yet.
Oh, they're going to
go crazy on it.
Totally.
And they're, for their $1 billion investment. I'm telling you, Duck, you watch Broncos win this game tonight somehow.
Woo!
They'll shock the world because the NFL's goofy. It makes no sense. The Broncos are down and they'll somehow find a way to win the football game. I wouldn't be stunned if that happens, although the trend certainly doesn't play that way. It's 15 consecutive times the Chiefs have beat Denver.
Oof. Yeah. Honestly, I'm with you on that. I kind of like the thought of, sprinkling a couple bucks on it. Why not? Like you said, everything crazy happens in the NFL. This is the craziest scripted league. And you never know what's going to happen. And, divisional dogs, if you're going to pick on something to upset, you're going to pick a divisional dog, and you're probably going to win at a decent clip and have a nice ROI. So, the Broncos aren't a terrible bet.
What else are you looking at this week, Doug?
I'm going to keep – I've come on this show, I think, three weeks in a row, and I've banged the drum on this Desmond Ridder first half fade. I'm going to keep on doing it, man.
See, it's been a good bet.
I must hate this guy because I just come on here and destroy him. Honestly, he is 0-9 against the spread in the first half.
You may want to start taking that bet on Mac Jones as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Mac Jones pretty bad too. But no, Desmond Ridder, man, 0-9 in the first half. They could talk about all he wants, that he's undefeated at home since middle school or whatever. I don't care. His first half, he's 0-9 in the NFL. His first half point totals in those games, 14-10, 9, 7, 7, 3, 3, 3, and 0.
Oof.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. We have an undervalued Washington team coming off of a loss to arguably the worst team in the NFL. So I kind of like the spot here for them in the first half. The money line is plus 110. And I hope that Desmond Ridder keeps getting fluky wins so I can just keep hitting this all season long.
What else you got?
From a teaser's perspective, I kind of like the thought of doing a teaser. And a teaser, for those who don't know, is when you get extra points on the spread by packaging two different spreads. So this week I do like Washington on a teaser at plus E.5, and then teasing Houston up to 7.5. I believe they are a home dog here this week. I think that both of them are in good spots to cover over a touchdown, and it's a good spot. And I was looking at you guys at the Jaguars this week. So I was digging into you guys, and I saw that Trevor is actually 25-16 to the under in the last 3 seasons. I don't know if you guys have noticed that at all, or...
No, I haven't. What's interesting in this game, and I was going to ask you a little bit about it, because obviously the Jags have won 8 straight times at home. Now 7 of them here on U.S. soil. Get to say that again, Aaron. And one of them in London. But I was wondering what Minshew being at quarterback does for the psyche of the bettor in this game.
Yeah, I would say that, honestly, that gives the Colts a little bit of a leg up from a betting perspective. Because, I mean, I wouldn't even say there's a surprise factor because there isn't anymore regarding Minshew. But it's more so of, like, he has this swag about him that kind of gets the team hyped up. And, you know, Anthony Richardson obviously is way more talented, I guess, if you look from a talent perspective than Minshew is. But there's just something about him that he's just like a little gunslinger, and he just kind of gets in there, and he can really, like, surprise teams with, like, you know, him throwing around and stuff, and the team gets going, and then the run game gets going because there's more open space for them because they're not getting the box stacked on them. So definitely there is a world where the Colts do upset the Jags this week. I don't know. I can't get there. But I will say that coming home after being, you know, so long on the road in London, it does feel like a little bit of a letdown spot for the Jags here. I just don't know. There's just a little too much variance.
Yeah,
if you're going to bet, I would say divisional dog is probably the way to go, especially with Jags coming off of London.
Yeah, you can. They can't afford a letdown, quite frankly. And I think actually it catches up to them next week. We can talk more about that next week. It's a Thursday game on the road. I think that's going to be a clunky game at best.
That'll be a tough
for the
one.
Jags.
Yeah. Hey, the over-under in this game is pretty soft, Duck. There's not a lot of value there, but 22.5 according to BetMGM as of today. We're taking the over on that if we've got to, right?
For the team total?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's a solid bet. I do get a little bit worried with the hangover from London, man. So that's the one thing that worries me, because it's an unprecedented situation. We don't have any data on teams who've stayed away from home that long, you know.
So the
season come back. So it's just tough. It's kind of like a stay away from me, but I would say that you would think that the Jags would be able to, you know, pass a decent amount on the pass funnel defense that is the Colts. So
I believe they scored over 22.
Did you say it's 22 for the Jags total?
Team total, yeah, 22.5, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Ducky, I know you're the one that gives us a lot of advice. Let me give you a little advice.
Oh, okay.
Hammer that over. Hammer that over.
Hammer that
over.
Hammer the over. Just telling you. All right, Ducky. Ducky _bets. We'll see if I'm right this week. You can come get me next week if not.
Sweet. Better bring all the duck food.
A little friendly advice from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Have a good week, man, and enjoy the week 6 of the NFL season. Thanks.
You too, guys. Bye.
See you, man.
When we come back, how about the Phillies? Put the Braves on the brink. The Dodgers swept away.
How about this? When we come back, football at 5.
And football at 5 as well. I figured that could be the case. But we can still talk about Bryce Harper because he would be pretty good in football.
Would he?
I think so. Did I tweet the ridiculous last night, Kasey?
You tweet so damn much, dude. I don't.
This is the game he plays every. He goes, you tweet too much. I don't know. You'll say the tweet. He's like, oh, yeah, I saw that.
No, I see them, but there's so many of them. It's like, I can't imagine what one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I saw you tweet about
Harper one.
a bunch of dumb stuff. I saw you tweet about Ty. That was pretty cool.
I did see the Ty video.
I retweeted it. Shout out.
There you go. Retweet. That boosted by 3.
Taking shots.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. There's not one follower that I have that he does.
Come on. No eggheads, though.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
We're in the middle of it now, the fall season, as we hit October on the campus of the University of North Florida. Swoop with the Ospreys, soccer, cross country, volleyball, golf, swimming programs, all in mid-season form. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. And coming soon, it's men's and women's basketball. The schedule is out, plenty of home games to attend. Bring the family. Season tickets are for sale. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFOspreys.com and swoop for the Ospreys all season.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
It's Customer Appreciation Day for CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC on St. John's Bluff Road South. I was just thinking the other day, I've been with CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for over 7 years. The water is better with a Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. I've never had an issue with it, and I'm proud to be a customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Customer Appreciation Day Saturday will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Hourly giveaways, including a Connecticut K5 reverse osmosis system and Connecticut salt monitors. 15% off on salt and filter as well. Discounts on Connecticut systems, music and refreshments, and you can meet Jackson DeVille from 10:30 until 11:30. Visit cgcwater.com for more information. 904-552-1242. Again, cgcwater.com. Customer Appreciation Day on Saturday, this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like CertainTeed Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase CertainTeed through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Hey, poker fans, you're in for a treat this October at Best Bet. With over $690,000 in poker promotions paid out this month, this is no time to be on the sidelines. Highlights include the $400 GoPo 400 with $40,000 guarantee at Best Bet Orange Park, the $100,000 guarantee St. Augustine Championship, and the return of the World Poker Tour $1 million guarantee at Best Bet Jacksonville. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Come on, honey. It's so hot that...
It's too hot for your cheesy riddles.
Come on, please. It's so hot that...
Fine. How hot is it?
It's so hot, chickens are laying hard-boiled eggs. It's so hot, we're boiling pasta in the pool. It's so hot that...
Yeah, I get it. It's hot.
It's not just hot. It's Hammond hot.
And only Hammond can handle Hammond Hot. Any AC company can handle kind of hot, sort of hot, maybe even pretty hot. But when your system is running 24 hours a day, you can't get to the temperature you want, and you strategically open and close vents to redirect air, that's when you have to call Hammond. After all, Hammond has been North Florida's most trusted AC authority for your neighbors since 1957. With techs who not only know how to get your system running again, but also how to keep it running at peak efficiency and performance. Remember, only Hammond can handle Hammond Hot. HammondAir.com.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed, when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be present in a state where lawful to wager. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville and all of Northeast Florida are fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. If you spot ESPN 690 anywhere in the community, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius.
It's the future of joint pain relief, and it's here. It's QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine, and it's amazing stuff. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, well, don't be so fast to go there. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. And we're talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem, using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your back. Play pickleball, go for a walk, play golf, play with the kids. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and you want to stay in motion. And QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. All you have to do for a free consultation, call 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522. In Mandarin and Ponte Vedra, 904-274-5522.
Frank, you got to come see my new windows from American Window Products. They're beautiful and they keep the house so cool.
Oh, slow down, Jim.
No, Frank. American Window Products is having a sale right now, and you said you wanted a locally owned business with qualified products and professional installers. Well, American Window Products has all that and more.
More?
Yes, selection and great prices at American Window Products.
Whoa, what's that number?
731-2247, a family-owned business since 1981. Check them out at AmericanWindowProducts.com. Call them, Frank.
I'm calling American Window Products right now, Jim.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville. Firefighters, paramedics, police officers. They take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Many of us enjoy being DIYers. Do you really need a financial advisor for retirement? Or can you just do that yourself too?
I wondered about that.
Well, it depends. Have the Talon Wealth team create a comprehensive financial plan personalized for you at no cost. Then you can compare what you're doing to what's possible with a team of fiduciaries on your side.
Okay.
Schedule now at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
You don't even like your quarterback.
Kasey Kuhrts.
You don't even like your team.
And Aaron Schachter.
I don't even like myself, guys. Do you know me?
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Phillies 1 win away from the NLCS. The defending National League champs can bounce the Braves from the playoffs again with a Game 4 win. Coverage at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Atlanta hoping to avoid the same fate as the Dodgers, 100-plus wins in each of the last 2 seasons. Knocked out before the NLCS after their latest setback in Arizona. Star outfielder Mookie Betts doesn't think he did enough.
I just did not execute anything, and got to tip your cap to them. They pitched the ball really great. So we didn't score very many runs, but again, I didn't do anything to help the team.
Meanwhile, X-rays negative for D-backs catcher Gabriel Moreno left yesterday's series-clinching win with a hand injury. Should be ready for the NLCS. In the NFL, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce expected to play tonight against the Broncos, listed as questionable with a foot injury, while Titans receiver Treylon Burks has been ruled out for a 3rd straight week with a knee injury. Tennessee takes on the Ravens in London in Week 6.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Cannon. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why my favorite team's season is over. Sorry, Giants fans. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Your chance to win $1,000 as ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. Sponsored by Arlington Toyota with over 800 new and used vehicles available.
Enter the word STAGE at ESPN690.com. That's STAGE by 15 past the hour.
Your next chance to win $1,000 and have ESPN 690 pay your bills happens tomorrow morning at 8.
This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me.
Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Yeah, we're going football at 5 in a moment. But before we do that, baseball playoffs are wild, man. Dodgers are done. Orioles are done. The Braves probably should be done. Certainly on the brink. You talk about something, just a little something made into a lot. It's so funny how that works. The Arcia stuff, where he said something in the locker room about Bryce Harper, and somebody, it wasn't even in a microphone.
So who's making it into a lot? Bryce?
No,
the media?
Everybody. Well, and Bryce, the fact that
because they asked him about it, he kind of made it into.
Well, he did too.
Well, Bryce took it, of course.
He took the bait, which I kind of like about Bryce Harper. Like he ain't backing down from that stuff. But if he doesn't hit the home runs, it's not a thing either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a thing because he hit the home runs on top of it already being a thing and everything else. Like it's what I told you, Kasey, about the Minshew stuff. Like if you come out of Minshew on Sunday and he wins, then he can make it a thing. But it's not a thing going in. And even the yesterday before the game, nobody said it was a thing. They were just like, maybe it'll be blah blah blah. We'll see what happens, and then it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
Because he stares him down and does his thing, all that. But which is fine. Like that's kind of cool. It makes sports fun. But just amazing how quick something like that can go escalate. I didn't even think whatever he said was really bad. You know what? We all said it. It was a bad base running play by Bryce Harper. And you know what?
Yeah.
Bryce probably should. I don't know if he said anything after the game, but he would probably say the same thing. You can't get doubled off in that spot. You go stand at second base and you're scoring if the ball's dropped instead of rounding third. Like there's nowhere to go. Yeah. So, I mean, in reality, Bryce Harper made a mistake and then he made up for it yesterday.
Big time.
I tweeted this last night and I got a lot of pushback.
Oh, I'm
Love
excited.
pushback.
What do we got?
And I was like, Bryce Harper, I said like Tiger, LeBron, Griffey, and Bryce Harper's putting himself in the realm of players that lived up to the hype.
I will say out of all these guys who signed $300 million contracts or close to it, like Bryce is paying off and is essentially the new Mr. October.
The wild thing about
not
Bryce,
even that.
It has nothing to do with the money to me.
He's been like they projected him to be this guy since he was like 13.
Yeah, when he was 6'1".
Because he was the face of travel ball.
He was the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that was my point. And what people were like, well, he's definitely not Tiger and he's definitely not LeBron. No, I'm not calling him the GOAT. Like, how long is the list of people that live up to the hype when you're labeled superstar at 12, 13, 14 years old?
Yeah,
like,
it's not a big list.
It's not a big list anyway. Crazy enough, the guys that I list, because those are the ones that come to the top of my mind that did live up to the hype, they all also didn't they just live up to the hype? They became some of the greatest of all time. They really did. Tiger and LeBron especially. And
Kobe,
But people will say Griffey, amazing what he did, and they thought he could do.
Yeah.
I think it's really one of the hardest things to do is live up to the hype, especially in today's world and news cycle and everything else. And these guys are doing it. And Harper is in that class. He's not in the great. Nobody's calling him the greatest of all time. Heck, we don't even know if he's the greatest player right now. Now, he has won MVPs.
2 of them.
But between Shohei and Trout and others, he's got competition on being called like the best player even of his generation,
today,
right? Or even today.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy part is he's 30. This is his 12th year in the league.
That is nuts. That is nuts. And here's the deal, Kasey. I think part of the story on Harper is it felt like, even though he put up numbers, it felt like a disappointment in Washington because he didn't win, and then they won right when he got traded.
Yeah, that was tough for him.
But, like, he wasn't a disappointment in Washington. He was a good player.
He was. After the first MVP, he was just okay.
But he hit a new level now in the clutch level. Did you see his numbers against the Braves the last 2 years?
I did not.
They're nuts. Like, he 12 out of 24 times he's come to the plate, I think he's been on base.
Wow.
I think it's 4 home runs, 5 home. I don't know what the home runs, but it's 2 last night, and then I think it was a couple last year in the series. Yeah, the numbers are crazy, and that's against the Braves, who are very good and obviously a rival. So to do it in the clutch time, like in reality, he's working himself into a little bit of a Jeter mold. In October,
they just got to figure out how to win it all.
Yeah, because they surprised. Was it last year they made it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who won it was Houston and the Phillies last year?
Yes.
And they were like a sneaky team into the
They were a wild card team.
Yeah. And they kind of would be the same way this year just because the Braves are so damn good.
It'd be exactly the same scenario. They beat the Braves again.
But here's the thing. They went and got Trey Turner. Like, to me, I don't think it's the same. They got Trey Turner. Like, their lineup is just as bit loaded as the Braves are.
Nah, not with you. There's easy outs in the well, there's no easy outs, but there's batters that when you face the Phillies, you're like, cool. The Braves don't have any of those guys.
Yeah, I'll go with that. And that's probably dangerous to say because the Braves are like set all sorts of records and offenses. But you get my point. It's not a weak lineup.
No, it's not. But there's ways to get them out.
And Nola is awesome.
Shout out to homie.
And has been.
Love that guy.
Why?
Good dude.
Graffer?
Solid dude.
All right.
Love him. Shout out Phillies parking.
I saw somebody say this, again, with all the game going on last night. Like, is Bryce Harper, where's he on, like, the face of baseball list?
He's not at the top.
Is Shohei?
He's close to it, but I don't even know if he's at the top.
I would say it's Shohei.
It's hard to market Shohei. Like, you can market what he does on the field, but you're not seeing him on a Coca-Cola bottle.
But you are seeing him on a New Balance commercial.
Yeah, like in other countries, but when you talk about baseball marketing in this country, you're not seeing Shohei Ohtani.
I would say the answer is Judge. Aaron, Yankees.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I think it's kind of muddy what the answer is. Here's what I do say about Harper. Harper has a face that can be a face. He's got the beard. He's got the long hair. He's got the attitude. He's got, like, he gives baseball something of a personality. The problem with Shohei is you don't really know his personality. He seems fun-loving, but we don't really know. Trout doesn't really have one. Like, he doesn't have an identity. He's just a really good player.
Yeah.
Judge is a good guy, but there's no, like, I mean, just because he's a gigantic human being, so that helps. But he's not like he's not polarizing. The thing about Bryce Harper is he actually is polarizing. I don't know how the Nationals fans feel about him but they have to not like him because he left, right?
Yeah, they don't like him.
Or they shipped him out, whatever it was. But they probably still appreciate what he did and way he came up and all that. Now the Phillies are an easy team to hate anyway. So he's the face of the Phillies, so you hate him because you hate the Phillies. There's plenty of rivalries in the NL East.
Sure.
You got him throwing his helmet after getting mad at the ump like a couple weeks ago. You got him staring down Arcia. Like, he's like a little bit of a bad boy of baseball, which in a sport where we really don't have a lot. We've got a lot of nice guys.
But don't you think bad boys only work in sports if they're also like charismatic and funny? Because that's not Bryce Harper.
But he could be.
Like Bryce Harper
He's not
to me,
bad. He's
What
not
bad
bad.
boys are funny?
Oh
What
my
bad
God.
boys are
Like Dennis Rodman was hilarious.
Dennis Rodman's on a different planet.
All right. They're about like, if you give me 5 minutes, I'll collect a bunch of funny bad boys. I'm
Well,
just
give
saying.
me an NFL bad boy. Yeah, I don't think you're like talking.
Well,
like Vontaze Burfict or whatever. Like,
no, I'm not talking like criminal bad. I'm talking like.
well, he was on the field bad too.
Like Ndamukong Suh would be
Antonio
a bad boy
Brown.
who's not charismatic. But Antonio Brown was a funny bad boy.
Was he?
Well, he was a little bit unstable.
He
but
was unstable. Bad
before
boy.
we thought he was unstable, it was funny.
I don't even know what's
Von Miller's not a bad boy, but he's charismatic. That's why he gets all the love. You know,
Okay.
that kind of thing. I look at Bryce Harper and he reminds me more of like an angry person than a charismatic person.
But yeah, but at least like that's different. That's different in baseball. Give me an example of the last baseball bad boy. Roger Clemens?
Maybe not the last one, but certainly one of them.
A-Rod?
A-Rod. A-Rod's a good one. Like A-Rod's a villain.
Yeah, big time.
And polarizing and all the rest. That's probably a great example. Is that the last example of one?
Yeah. There's not a lot of universally hated guys.
Weird, right?
A little bit. Yeah, Harper you only like if he's on your team.
I mean, the reason people don't like the Astros is because they cheated.
Oh,
But they don't not like an individual Astro.
There are some of them that are like, yeah, this is
Who?
Correa. Correa, was that Altuve? Altuve?
Is it?
Brent?
I don't know. I feel like everybody loves Altuve's story just as much as they don't
that's
like.
gone. He gets booed everywhere still.
Yeah.
Altuve, Correa,
And
Bregman.
by the way, you
they
guys,
faced it.
everybody should get over their Astros thing because they've also proven that they're damn good without cheating. They're all right. They've gone to 7 ALCSs in a
They're in
row.
the World
and
Series
now
every
it's
year.
actually tracking like they're going to win another one.
Oh, it's not tracking? It's not tracking, Brent. They got to beat the Rangers. Rangers haven't lost anybody. Come on. Phillies. Diamondbacks haven't lost a game. It's not tracking.
I think Bryce Harper, first of all, I think he's so good. The living up to the hype stuff I respect so much. I think that it's going to be so difficult. I can't even imagine it. I mean, we've got it right here in our backyard. Trevor Lawrence. He's a lot of hype around him for a long time. Maybe not at 12 years old like nationally and 13 years old nationally, but definitely in his home state. And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Like we've actually got one of those guys here in Jacksonville on maybe just a notch below some of these others that we have examples of. There's just not a big room filled of people that are labeled at 13, 14, 15 years old to be great. And then there's an even smaller room of people that actually do it.
Sure.
I mean, just even take number one picks overall in the sport of baseball, and there's highly disappointing people in number one overall picks.
Tons.
And they don't even probably come with the cachet that, again, Bryce Harper really became the face of, I think, travel ball baseball, like the shift in the world of sports at the youth level. He became because he was playing like all over the country in 100 million games a year and putting on this show. He was hitting at 500 feet at 13 years old, 14 years old. So
real good,
I love the story of Harper. I think he actually is a likable guy too because he's raw and there's something genuine about him.
He's got to win though.
And yeah, I think you got to win. That would help.
No, they have to.
How many MVPs does he have?
2.
Is it just 2?
1 with each.
What is he tracking career-wise, Kasey? Like
he's good.
Like 500 home run club guy?
So he's literally about to turn 31 in the next day or two. He's got 306.
He's already played 12 years. I mean,
but if he gives it a solid
7
10 more
years, or do you have to get 10 more? That'd be only 20 homers a year, man. Like he can do that in 7.
The average number is 33 in his career.
So if he goes 30, let's go 30 over the next 7 would get him to 210 and 500 homers. I bet he tries to get that number. Like he's going to be a 500 homer guy because he's probably going to hit a couple of 40 home run seasons, and then he can hit 20 in his sleep.
Well, there's a chance. Again, he's 30 years old. He may not have hit his prime yet. They say it's 31 to 33. That'd be something.
That would be
wild.
He has 1,500 hits, by the way, so he's not getting to that one.
Unless he plays till he's 40.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not getting to that. But that's okay. Like he's not a 3,000 hit guy anyway. He's a 500 home run guy. That's what he needs to be.
And then some.
Yeah, that's just wild. One other note about, by the way, the Braves lose today. Whew.
That'd be a wild postseason. It's already wild, but that really puts a cap on it.
The Orioles are excusable. They're a young team that arrived early.
But they dominated all season.
I know, but
Phillies, Diamondbacks, Rangers, Astros would be something.
It would be. But, you do have Houston, who is a polarizing team, and then you have Philly on top of that. And you could have a rematch of the World Series last year. And you have plenty of stars. I don't think it's terrible for baseball. Diamondbacks are actually really fun to watch.
Yeah, they are. Everybody room for the Diamondbacks.
Cool
America's
unis
team.
last night,
They
too.
overtook Seattle, by the way.
Good unis.
Did you just say good unis?
Last night's unis, I liked them.
You actually paid attention to what they were wearing?
Yeah. Stuck out to me.
I don't get the feeling he doesn't pay attention. I feel like he just doesn't like when people talk about it.
Yeah,
He just brought it up.
Care,
I know.
But I just noticed them yesterday. I liked them. Wow. All right, let's get to big story today, if you're just jumping in, is DaVon Hamilton back at practice for the Jags. They opened the 21-day window. So if you're just getting out of work, that's the story. And now what does that mean? We'll see. I mean, he's not going to play this week, but DeJuan Smoot could play this week. He practiced again today. And the Jags did not have Zay Jones practicing, so I wouldn't expect him this Sunday. Walker Little, I wouldn't expect him this Sunday. So Jags going to be down a couple of guys, but the defense might even get a bigger boost than already they're playing with Smoot back. And then eventually, I would say, I don't think he's going to play on Thursday, but maybe the next week against Pittsburgh, the earliest time, if not the bye week coming off that against San Francisco, you're going to see DaVon Hamilton probably back in action. They wouldn't have activated him, I don't think, if they didn't believe that could be the case. So that's really the big story in Jacksonville today as the Jags get ready for the Indianapolis Colts coming up on Sunday. What do you have happening around the National Football League or beyond?
Well, instead of starting around the league, let's start right here in Jacksonville, because we've been talking a lot about the team today, offense, but mostly defense, with the return of DaVon Hamilton to the practice field and possibly DeJuan Smoot to the gameplay action. Here's some notes on the Jaguars defense per drive averages. All right, so we're talking about how reliable this team has been thus far. Plays per drive on the defense, they're ranked 5th in the league at 5.4. Yards per drive at 30.7, ranked 18th. It's the softest rank they've got. Time per drive, they're ranked 3rd. Score percentage on drives, they're ranked 3rd. Turnover percentage on drives, they're top 5. Points per drive, they're top 8. This defense has been one of the more reliable parts to this team. My question to you guys is this a trend, or is this who they are? Is this here now because the team needs them with an offense that had been sputtering to start the season, and maybe we'll see a regression as the offense picks up the slack? Or will the offense meet the level of the defense and turn this team into an elite team?
Well, I do think the offense is going to meet the defense and maybe even surpass it. I think the offense is coming, and I'm not giving up on the offense. I think it is what it is. I've said this for the last couple of weeks. We're not wrong about the offense. They are good on paper. They should be good. They should be playing better. They should be scoring more points, and I think we're starting to see it. We might even see it on Sunday. I think the other part of that is the defense this isn't a trend anymore. The defense is what it is. If you go back to last season, about the midway point specifically, you're going to get a defense that takes the ball away, that's pretty good against the run, that's opportunistic, but also has a trait that some people don't love, and that is they're going to give a little bit. Like that yards, that's why they're 18th in the league. Yards per drive, I think you said.
They let people get down there.
People are going to move the ball against them. And I think I said this yesterday on the show, maybe it was Monday or Tuesday, whatever the heck day it is. I think the Jags will probably still have a stinker or two on defense this year. Like their stinker so far has been Houston, but there was a stinker on like special teams and offense and everything else that day. I think I think people are going to there are going to be a couple of teams where people just score on them. And because if you are giving up first downs and yardage, so you can't stop every drive, and you also can't end every drive with like a turnover. So you're susceptible to a team that caught fire, executes really well, and finishes those drives and puts a number on you. So I don't think this is by any means a shutdown defense. I think it's a very capable defense, and it's a defense with an identity. And right now that identity is threefold for me. They stop the run pretty well. They know how to get the football under Mike Caldwell, and that's been a thing for 2 years. And they have a secondary that I continue to pounce on and say it's extremely underrated. It is a good secondary. Like they have played good football there for a long time now, and it seems like they're only getting better and better as we go. So I like a defense that has an identity. They're not going to hold you under 10 points a game. They're not that. But they do a lot of things well. And I think they're going to continue for the most part to do it well. But don't be surprised at some point in the next 12 games that the Jags give up a number. I think they might. do that one or two times this year. You just hope that the offensive number is bigger than the defense's number.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go to James Palmer. James is talking about Pat Mahomes tonight. You want to talk about offense. Pat Mahomes playing against the Broncos seems like it could be a favorable matchup. According to James, Pat Mahomes has never faced the last-ranked scoring defense in his career. Never. He's going to for the first time tonight against the Broncos. Is Mahomes putting up 70 or what?
No.
Maybe.
No, because in part, are they even clicking?
Who, the Chiefs?
Yeah.
No, not really.
What does clicking for them look like this year? I mean, outside of Pacheco and Kelsey, who are you clicking with?
What's their? Well, I don't know, but you just answered the question. Are they going to click to the point where we just assume every time they're going to go score 30-something points or whatever?
2 scores on defense plus 30 on offense. It's a wrap.
And by the way, I could talk my talk, but I think they've already put up 40 this year.
They did against the Bears. But outside of that, they put up 27, 23, 17, and 20.
Well,
that's way low for them, guys.
Very low.
Yeah, but if they put up 40 on the Bears, that
one of those games was against the Jets, who they're not letting any quarterback score this year. So.
They play the Broncos.
Like 85.
You know what's nuts is they play the Broncos 2 out of the next 3 games.
Yeah, they do. And the one in between's easy too. Chargers, right?
Yeah.
It's like a Titans situation from last year.
But okay, you got Kelsey.
Basically.
You have Kelsey that's banged up. He's not 100%. You still are trying to identify what else you have on offense. Mahomes rolled an ankle last week, and Mahomes is going to be Mahomes. But I don't know. I just don't feel like, as much as we've talked about the Jags being their lack of being a juggernaut, Chiefs are right in that conversation. Now, the difference is Chiefs have one more win. They're 4-1. They got away with their 17-point performance. And really, they're a point away from being 5-0. They really do know how to win. Their defense is playing really good football.
Pretty good.
It doesn't get enough credit.
Well, Case, are you a believer in Sky Moore or Rashee Rice to the point where they're going to put up phenomenal numbers even against the Broncos?
I was a believer in Sky Moore. Bought a lot of cards.
Oh, boy. How's that doing for you?
Guy kind of stinks.
Yeah, 9 catches on the year.
Yeah, to be real with you. So I was a believer, but not so much anymore. But the only thing you need is a Denver Broncos defense, and boom, we're selling cards. So be locked to eBay tonight if you're looking for Sky Moore cards. That will be listed.
I threw a theory at you guys over at text, a little conspiracy theory, and no one reacted to it. So I'll bring it to the show. You guys tell me what you think.
I didn't read it.
If Mahomes doesn't play on the ankle last year, don't you think Kelsey is sitting for 3 or 4 games on this rolled ankle? I feel like because Mahomes played on a high ankle sprain, the day it happened and then the games after, there's no way Kelsey can sit without everyone thinking he's soft now.
I don't buy that. I think he already missed 1 game this year, and he hadn't missed, right? I don't think he had missed a game since going all the way back to college.
But that wasn't a high ankle sprain, is what I'm saying. My point is, when you heard high ankle sprain for the last 4 or 5 years, it's a 4-game absence.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw anyone play on a high ankle sprain, a significant one at least, was Mahomes last year. And now suddenly Kelsey's doing it too.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and maybe it is.
I'll take it.
I just don't. I just don't think the ankle sprain is that severe, or he wouldn't play. I mean, he's obviously can do whatever he's got to do. And listen, with those, you never know. He makes a cut tonight, and it tweaks it, and he's out.
I bet he doesn't play in the second half.
So I'd be very careful.
Because they're up or because it hurts?
Both.
I'd be very careful playing him in fantasy tonight.
He's on my team. Don't say that.
Are you playing him?
Yes. He got me 18 points last week.
Wow.
Wow, me.
Ankle hurts.
Give us another one. What you got?
So does Jalen. Well, let's talk about Kyler for a second.
Who?
Because the NFL on ESPN put this out the other day and talking about Tyler. The question was, will the Cardinals move on from Kyler Murray? Dan Graziano, ESPN, reporting the outside speculation from other teams is that the Cardinals will likely move on him after the season, but there are also common sense reasons to speculate that way. We did take a look at the contract. The out is not this year, it's the year after. So lots of cap to eat, lots of dead cap to eat. But then you got a guy like Larry Fitzgerald who's out here talking to anyone who will listen about how he thinks Kyler Murray is the kind of quarterback that can take the Cardinals to the Super Bowl. Now, if anyone knows something about quarterbacks, take someone to the Super Bowl, it's a guy like Larry Fitzgerald who went himself. Which do you think is the truth? Obviously, you haven't been a Kyler fan to this point, but if Larry Fitzgerald is on board, does that change your thinking at all?
Not really. I think guys defend guys they know a little bit, and so that sometimes they get shaded by that. This
is the year of former players trashing current players.
Yeah, here's the bigger problem right now with Kyler Murray. Is he going to when's he going to play again? like, can you get on the football field?
I mean,
it feels like I forgot. I think the league has forgotten about Kyler Murray.
I wouldn't say that much, but I don't think there's incentive to get him back out there.
I get it.
Soon.
Well, listen, you say that, then Larry Fitzgerald's words are moot. Because the lack of incentive to get him out there is the fact that you want the 1, 2, or 3 pick to go get a quarterback to replace him.
No, I don't think they're thinking 1, 2, or 3, but I do think they're thinking top 5 or 10 where they could pick up a defensive end or a big-time wide receiver to help Kyler, or even an offensive lineman, which they significantly need, I think. But, Case, are you believing in Fitzgerald?
No. Replace him.
With anybody?
Williams. No, I mean, it depends, but if you get Caleb Williams,
what if
Drake
it's
May?
not? What if it's not? What if it's the 3rd or 4th quarterback in the first round? What if it's Penix? I know you like Penix, but what if it's Riley?
Leonard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders. Like, there are 8 of these quarterbacks that everyone's talking about going to the first one. McCarthy.
Which they're going to have 2 picks, so that's why he'll
Jordan
probably
Travis, Bo Nix, like somebody, anybody. I'm sticking with Kyler in that. Like, if it's not Caleb Williams and it's not Drake May, it's not like Kyler isn't a talented kid.
Yeah, you know what? He's talented, man, but I don't. There's nothing for me to buy into with Kyler Murray. 1, he's injured. 2, all the leadership stuff or whatever it was. Maybe it was fabricated to this degree, but there had to be something to start it.
I just think he doesn't watch tape.
People mature. That's fine. Like you get, you learn and all that stuff. But I'm just not buying a lot. And here's the deal. The organization might be stuck anyway. They might have made a bad decision in picking him. They might have made a doubly bad decision in giving him $46 million a year. And they may triple down on that bad decision by keeping him.
Well, it seems like they're a little bit more distracted on top of that after this story came out in The Athletic this morning. I don't know if you guys saw the headlines, but Bidwell taking one on the chin from his employees in this story in The Athletic. 20 people spoke anonymously to The Athletic talking about what a nightmare workplace that Arizona Cardinals facility is.
And that came out after that survey, too, last year. So now this is still continuing.
Yes, this is a current story from today, yeah.
I'll tell you this, though. If there's here's a simple question. Do you think Kyler Murray wins a Super Bowl in his career? And the answer right now, nobody's saying yes.
As a backup.
I think he's capable, as long as he's got help around him. I don't think he's one of these guys that takes a team there on his shoulders, but I do think he's a guy who could win you a Super Bowl with the right players on the team.
You're wild.
Yeah, I've got no belief in, to me, that's a little blind faith from what I've seen so far in the NFL from him. It doesn't mean it can't happen. I mean, there have been many a guy that has won a Super Bowl. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts. Again, we'll see you tonight. Jaguars All Access from String Sports Brewery. Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk just signing for the kids tonight. I'll be signing until late into the evening, though, if you need anything else. Helmets, bring your mini helmets, your pictures.
Good luck with that highlighter on, my boy.
This highlighter that I'm wearing?
Yeah.
Oh. These guys will take us home.
Wu-Tang's for the kids.
Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton at 6 o'clock.
What?
Thursday Night Football right here on our Westwood One coverage. We've got the Chiefs and the Broncos on ESPN 690.
We do.
What?
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Cloudy tonight, still a little bit of drizzle or mist at times as temperatures drop into the upper 60s. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy and warmer for your Friday. Still a few showers, but also a lot of dry hours and highs in the 80s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's incredible buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 31st.
Get into the game at Best Bet. Come enjoy the best in-card games, hospitality, and fun at Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park. You don't have to be a poker pro to have a great time. Featuring poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Pai Gow. Wager on exciting simulcast races and enjoy delicious food and drink. Our card rooms are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. and 24 hours on Saturday and Sunday. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 in a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
Come on, honey. It's so hot that...
It's too hot for your cheesy riddles.
Come on, please. It's so hot that...
Fine. How hot is it?
It's so hot, chickens are laying hard-boiled eggs. It's so hot, we're boiling pasta in the pool. It's so hot that...
Yeah, I get it. It's hot.
It's not just hot. It's Hammond hot.
And only Hammond can handle Hammond hot. Any AC company can handle kind of hot, sort of hot, maybe even pretty hot. But when your system is running 24 hours a day, you can't get to the temperature you want, and you strategically open and close vents to redirect air, that's when you have to call Hammond. After all, Hammond has been North Florida's most trusted AC authority for your neighbors since 1957, with techs who not only know how to get your system running again, but also how to keep it running at peak efficiency and performance. Remember, only Hammond can handle Hammond hot. HammondAir.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime. Tonight, it's an AFC West showdown as Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos head to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes and the defending champion Chiefs. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. It's the Broncos and the Chiefs tonight on Thursday Night Football, and it's on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
It's Customer Appreciation Day for CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC on St. John's Bluff Road South. I was just thinking the other day, I've been with CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for over 7 years. The water is better with a Kinetico softener and drinking water system. Kinetico's twin-tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. I've never had an issue with it, and I'm proud to be a customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Customer Appreciation Day Saturday will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Hourly giveaways, including a Kinetico K5 reverse osmosis system and Kinetico salt monitors. 15% off on salt and filter as well. Discounts on Kinetico systems, music and refreshments, and you can meet Jackson DeVille from 10:30 until 11:30. Visit cgcwater.com for more information. 904-552-1242. Again, cgcwater.com. Customer Appreciation Day on Saturday, this Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Klein tools are new at Lowe's, pros. Lowe's knows you want top brands and quality products, and Klein Tools delivers. Right now, get the Klein 3-piece ModBox mobile workstation for $319.94 and the Klein 5-piece cushion grip screwdriver set for just $34.97, both exclusively at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools, the highest quality tool brand at Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows tools, Lowe's knows pros.
Loki has returned in an all-new season on Disney+.
Reunited. That's right.
The countdown is over.
I've been waiting.
Don't miss the return of Marvel's most watched Disney Plus show.
Loki. Loki. Loki! A little over the top, don't you think? I thought it was spot on.
His time is running out.
You better run!
Marvel Studios' Loki Season 2. New episodes now streaming only on Disney Plus.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be present in a state where lawful to wager. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to Brent and Friends. Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts hanging with you guys up until 6 o'clock. I believe Casey's up here with overtime at 6. And then football begins.
Why?
Does coverage begin at 7:30?
Why did you start talking so fast? Is this the bump music thing?
That's just 35 after. I want to get into it.
I've never been so caught off guard. I wasn't ready.
You want to do it again? Let's go back to a commercial and come back to the bump music. Take 2. Let's do a mulligan.
All right, we'll just go back to bump music.
Welcome back to Brent and Friends. Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts, hanging with you guys. Part 2. Brent Martineau off to Strings for the night.
Sports Brewery.
He's got a date with Trev and Christian.
The boys.
Signing only for the kids. As I was saying as we went to break, Case.
For the children.
Wu-Tang for the kids.
I don't know what that means.
Wu-Tang is for the kids.
I know Wu-Tang.
Oh, my goodness. You don't know Wu-Tang if you don't know that Wu-Tang is for the kids, man.
What you mean, bro?
I bet you Trev and Christian know Wu-Tang is for the kids.
I got signed albums, bro. You trying to buy?
Maybe.
Of Wu-Tang?
All right, we can discuss this off the
It's not cheap.
That's all right. Living that life, dog.
Oh.
You're going to owe me $5 at the end of this Brent bet anyway. Let's go back.
I still don't understand how that works, but it's fine. I know I'm getting 75.
Let's go back to talking about the Cardinals because
okay,
the story coming out of there today, out of The Athletic, was pretty interesting to me. I've worked at a couple of different bad situations before. Within this building, by the way. I mean, I've been here 20 years.
You've seen a lot of things.
So you've seen, I've had 7 or 8 general managers.
I'll save it.
I've had 6 or 7 program directors. And so each of them bring in their own regime, their own set of rules, their expectations and stuff. So this story coming out of Arizona is interesting because it's about the owner. You don't go through regimes with ownership. They're the rot that doesn't leave.
Shout out Daniel Snyder.
Shout out Woody Johnson in New York.
Good
and
point.
for Knicks fans, shout out Chuck Dolan as well. Anyway, here's the story. Here's the report coming out of The Athletic. According to The Athletic, the Cardinals have a troubling workplace culture and had some employees working in fear, according to the author of the piece, Kaylin Collar. From the report, here's the quote. One employee said a supervisor told her that she wouldn't be an official Cardinal until she got yelled at by Michael Bidwell, the owner, or one of the other senior managers. Quote, 20 minutes after that, Bidwell yelled at me, she said. Her offense? Walking too slowly.
Huh?
She got yelled at for walking too slowly.
In the halls?
Maybe. Or in the cubes, wherever. You're walking at work.
What a scum.
Bro, if a program director came up behind me and yelled at me for walking slowly, we're getting into it.
What if a coworker came up behind you walking slowly asking about Arby's?
Little art imitating life, huh, Case?
You never know, man.
Have you ever worked with an awful boss, Case? Does he happen to be talking to you on a microphone right now? Could you imagine working in a situation where you're getting yelled at for walking too slowly? Would you even put up with that, NFL or not?
No.
How do you justify coming to work every day?
Because I'm a slow walker. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Big guy. You walk fast. Shut up.
It depends.
You be haul button through the hallways.
Well, if we have 3 minutes in the break for me to get to the vending machine and get back, then yeah.
I always hit at the same speed.
But in the morning, I take my time, leisurely stroll.
Good. You should.
Leisurely stroll.
You should. You got to be here for, you're here longer, but you got to be here for 8 hours. You might as well get cozy.
Bro, this is the same organization, by the way, that fired one of the senior VPs for not tanking, for not breaking league rules when the GM, Steve Keim, was suspended for DUI.
That's right.
Bidwell gives this senior VP a burner phone. Like, what is this, a cartel?
What a disaster over there.
Disaster organization. When Caleb Williams says, I could just come back to college, he's talking specifically to the Cardinals.
Not a lot of good options for Caleb Williams right now. Doesn't feel like.
I feel like he would be fine with any team but the Cardinals.
Chicago?
I think he'd be fine. I think he'd welcome the challenge of being the quarterback that finally is good in Chicago. Yeah. Finally turns the organization around. Even in New York with the Jets or with the Giants.
I will say, Arizona feels like they have landed in and this is, a conversation, unfortunately, that Jacksonville's been in before, the most irrelevant NFL team. Like you don't think about them.
You really don't. Not even when they're playing better than they should be.
They have no stars. Maybe one, but he's hurt.
The most famous internet clip you saw this year was making fun of their head coach.
It's just there's nothing there. You don't even know who's on their team.
They got a quarterback. They don't even sell his jersey in the team store.
Like you don't have any of their fantasy football players.
Connor, maybe.
Maybe.
But that's only because one of your other backs are hurt right now.
So it's just like they are so irrelevant, and it's wild. Nice stadium. Nice area.
Yeah. I love Arizona.
Do you?
I went to Scottsdale, and my wife won a sales contest.
You didn't go with us last year.
No, I didn't. But when I went, it was gorgeous. I went to a resort called Camelback Mountain.
Yeah.
This is where the celebrities go for rehab, and you can tell why when you're there. It is like ethereal. It looked like heaven there. There were little bunnies hopping outside of our villa. It was amazing.
Did you actually go out?
Yes. It was gorgeous. I went out on a hot air balloon. We went hiking.
You went in a hot air balloon?
Bro, let me tell you something.
No
Hot air
way.
balloons. Hot air balloons are wild. If I could go off on a tangent. Not that I tend to do that or not.
Sure.
Here's the wild thing about hot air balloons. I don't know if we've ever had this conversation before.
We have not.
You go up in the hot air balloon.
Not even off the air.
For anyone who's curious about hot air balloons, you go up in a hot air balloon, you can't steer the thing. You can only go up or down.
That does make sense.
But
I get that.
If the wind blows you into the city, you're blowing into the city.
There's not like a string?
No.
You're not actually attached to anything?
Kasey, we went up in the air and we're looking down and we're moving off the site. And I'm like, how do we get back to the site? And he goes, we have a truck, like a pickup truck, following the balloon on the ground right now so they know where we land. And then they can tell the bus to come pick us up. How frightening is that? You're like 5,000, 10,000 feet in the air. It's like a giant flamethrower above your head. 12 people in a basket. No guardrails.
12 people?
That's what was in our basket.
Was it a big basket?
It was pretty big, but we're like, elbow.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder, yeah.
That sounds like the worst experience.
Bro, it was frightening. I'm not scared of heights. Like, I don't get scared when I'm up in a tall building, but I did take a peek over the side.
Isn't that the point of the experience?
Man, I felt it in my gut.
Did you really?
I felt it lower than my gut.
How sturdy, is the basket?
It's sturdy for a wicker basket, but that's all it is a wicker basket with a blow dryer and flamethrower tied to it.
Why do people do this?
It's frightening.
That's terrifying.
I would do it again, though.
Why?
It was gorgeous up there.
I thought you were scared.
I was frightened out of my mind. But also it reminds you, we're just so tiny. So tiny.
Yeah, you do like those experiences.
The world is gigantic. You just don't matter as much as you think you do.
That's exactly why I wouldn't go up in the hot air balloon.
Like I'm sitting here giving you a hard time about bump music, and you go up in the hot air balloon, you're like, it's just music. It's just bumps.
Sounds like a different experience than a hot air balloon.
I see what you're saying.
All right, man.
Trying to melt your ego away in the hot air balloon.
I'm just saying.
You're trying to take a darkness retreat in the hot air balloon. I understand.
Just saying, that's kind of what it was sounding like for a second.
Well, you shouldn't. You might think you have wings and then may not make it back. The wild part is that you can't steer the thing to me.
Yeah, it's terrible.
How do you trust the balloon's going to drop you off in a place where you can land?
That's terrible. Leaving Arizona might end up in whatever state is next to Arizona.
You can go up and down, but at some point the gas runs out. All right, I've obsessed on the hot air balloon too long. One more. Does this scare you, Case?
Not as much as hot air balloon.
Yeah, right. The report out of Indianapolis is that the Colts are calling on the Broncos for Jerry Jeudy. Now, the Colts, already with an okay record, better than we thought they were going to be. If they actually add firepower to the wide receiver room, a little bit more dangerous.
In terms of the Jags part of the story, he's not there this week, so you're good there. I know it's not what you're saying.
Right.
But just in general, the Jerry Jeudy shine has worn off after all this time. They haven't been good, don't get me wrong, since he's been there. inconsistent quarterback play. They do have Russ now, but again, inconsistent. He's just a guy, Aaron. I mean, he's done nothing to, in my opinion, to show that he's, anything more than that. As of now, he was a draft bust when they picked him and where they picked him. And, I mean, the Colts wide receiver room is not great. I mean,
it's Pittman and everybody else.
It's an upgrade, sort of.
That's very much an upgrade.
That's a guy, but, does it scare you? No.
I mean, if he plays to his potential, he's better than the number one receiver on the team.
I just don't know if that potential exists anymore.
I'm not disagreeing with that, by the way, because I haven't seen it. I'll tell you this, NFL.com believes in him. I got him stashed on my bench right now. Every week they're like, oh, Judy's going off for 14 points this week.
Judy's never going off. It's not going to be tonight either. Spoiler alert.
It's definitely not going to be tonight.
He was a dude at Alabama, and if Sawyer's on Twitch, he's probably going to comment and say, he was a dude at Alabama, which you're right, but he just hasn't been it in the NFL. I've given up on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think anyone else is still on the Judy train is thinking about it.
But, Colts, whatever. Give up a pick for him. That's fine.
So you'd rather them do it?
I just don't think it matters much.
I'd rather the Colts stay toothless.
Yeah. I had a friend named Arthur one time. He was toothless.
It's a good story. Cool story, bro.
You brought it up.
I did bring it up.
We called him Toothless
Look, if
Arthur.
I could talk about hot air balloons, you could talk about Toothless Corey.
Arthur.
Toothless Arthur.
He used to fall asleep at the baseball game.
It's also what they call the head coach out in Atlanta. Just saying.
All right.
Brent and Friends will be back right after the break. When we come back, Case, I want to ask you about trading cards. You are the expert.
Yes, I am.
And I did see a story earlier this week that I didn't really understand. I'm kind of hoping you could break it down for me.
I'll do my best.
All right. A couple of minutes from now, we'll be back with that. ESPN 690 rolls on after this.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
Catch Florida State football on Jacksonville's home for ESPN 690. Saturday, the Seminoles try to keep their unbeaten streak intact against the Orangemen of Syracuse. Our coverage starts Saturday morning at 9:30 with the Florida State Tailgate Show. Then Jeff Colhane, William Floyd, and Tom Block have the call of Knowles Orange. Kickoff at noon Saturday. Florida State football is powered by Bass Professional Realty, Bono's Pit Barbecue, and Willie Jewell's Barbecue.
In 1958, the world was introduced to Buddy Guy. Don't miss the legend live. The Damn Right Farewell Tour. Friday, October 20th, the St. Augustine Amphitheater. Special guest, Chris Stone, Kingfish Ingram. Tickets on sale now at theamp.com. The Damn Right Farewell Tour. Buddy Guy.
Play a little pool, watch some football, eat wings, and, of course, plenty of adult beverages. Perfect Rack Billiards is the place to be on game day and every day. Now open for lunch at 11:30 on Friday and Saturdays. Daily specials like 75-cent Wing Wednesday, $3 Draft Thursday, and $3 Seltzer Saturday. Pool, darts, shuffleboard in a fun, clean atmosphere at Perfect Rack Billiards. It's your Jags game day headquarters. 10 wings and a pitcher for $20 and a free shot with every Jags touchdown. It's up to the Jags to score. It's up to you to have fun at Perfect Rack Billiards in Jacksonville.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. It's a great time of year to invest in energy-efficient improvements to your home. With our competitive rates and new tax credits for insulation upgrades, you can get huge savings to improve your insulation today and see long-term savings every month going forward.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Valor Bare Knuckle is back in Jacksonville. The legend Ken Shamrock playing host, and the card is highlighted with a heavyweight bout. Valor Bare Knuckle highlights combat sports in its truest form. It's one night, October 27th, and it's at UNF Arena, an intimate setting surrounding the electrifying bout circle. October 27th at UNF Arena. For ticket information, go to valorbk.com. Don't miss it. Raw, electric, exhilarating. Valor Bare Knuckle 2 in Jacksonville, October 27th, valorbk.com.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Car Bravo is here at Nimnick Buick GMC, a better way to shop used vehicles with transparent pricing. Nimnick Buick GMC has joined the Car Bravo family and is the only Car Bravo dealer in Northeast Florida. Hey, it's a win-win for everyone. You always win at Nimnicht Buick GMC. I've always won 6 different cars purchased for our family. Terrific selection of used cars under $20,000 at Nimnicht. Experience used for you with Car Bravo online at NimnichtBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville and all of Northeast Florida are fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. If you spot ESPN 690 anywhere in the community, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with DeVoley's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit DeVoley's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with DeVoley's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. But right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Welcome back to Brent Friends, ESPN 690. Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts.
All right.
Coming at you fast. Like life. In the break, you were telling me about this latest Tyreek Hill tweet. He's tweeting about Chase Claypool.
Yeah. Ain't nothing like saying your teammate, quote, looks like a vending machine out there.
Any idea what do you think he means?
I have no idea what he means.
Vending machine.
It sounds like to me he's big and in the way.
Okay, that could be one way to translate that.
That's my guess.
Maybe Tyreek was trying to say, you know, he can give you anything you're looking for if you press the right buttons.
That's interesting. He's certainly, the one thing he's definitely not calling him is fast. Because the vending machine takes forever to dispense.
Not only does it take to dispense, it's not going to move fast.
It does not move.
Like 700 pounds apiece.
So I've
seen a lot of memes on this one where people are showing people mad that the vending machine stole money, which is essentially what Chase Claypool's been doing this year.
He do be doing that. That's a wild thing to say. But Tyreek's like, I don't really care, man. I catch 8 passes for 180 and 2 touchdowns. So
what happened to Chase Claypool?
I know. Right?
It started so hot and heavy with that guy.
When I'm telling you, I think I said this recently, maybe I didn't, but if Tomlin gives up on you,
yeah, it's over.
There's probably a problem.
Probably?
Definitely. There's definitely a problem if Tomlin gives up on you. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll work in Miami. Maybe it won't.
Here's the thing. Like, you go to Tomlin, it's not going to work, and it didn't work for you. Now you're with Mike McDaniel, and you're not with him because he develops men. He's not like this. He's not known for being this tremendous leader of men, but he is known for having the NFL cheat code. So if Mike McDaniel can't do something with Chase Claypool, like what other coach is looking at this guy going, I can get this done?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it'll be like a Robbie Anderson situation, who is still in the league. I don't know if you heard. Well, actually, technically he's not. It's chosen.
Yeah, and not working out in Miami.
Oh, is he still in Miami?
I'm pretty sure.
Chase Claypool is a replacement for Chosen Anderson?
I think he might have been released.
What a mess.
I got to double check that, but.
And they just keep
that was
beating
definitely the
people
last
by
team
70.
he was on. Claypool's first year, he started 6 games, but he played in all 16. 62 catches, 873 yards, 9 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Rookie year.
That was what year? Sorry?
20.
So is that AB and Le'Veon Bell or just AB?
It's definitely not Le'Veon Bell.
Okay, so just AB. AB, Juju, Big Ben.
Yes.
Right? Big Ben?
Yes.
Yeah. I guess.
But, man, did it go downhill after that.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger, Mason Rudolph, and Josh Dobbs in that quarterback room.
Wow.
James Conner in the backfield. Claypool.
Conner.
Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster. No AB.
No AB? Oh, COVID, right. Yeah, that's the year they won with the Bucs.
Wow, Chase Claypool. Hardly knew ye.
Hashtag, what happened to that guy?
Hashtag, I never got to the story about the trading cards.
Oh, 24-hour tees?
I guess so.
Or should I just hit it real quick?
Can you hit it? You got enough time?
Fanatics tried to block Panini from making football cards with
Big
the
business
NFLPA.
moves. Okay.
And then Panini filed this thing that says, yes, we still can until you officially take over. Basically, Fanatics has a deal 3 years out to take over for Panini making football cards.
So the deal takes effect in 3 years?
Yes.
What will this do to the value of current Panini cards? Nothing?
It's still questionable because when the news first came out that Fanatics was jumping the 3-year line and were automatically starting, it went up. But now it's come back down to normal.
Because you got 3 years.
Like Prism and stuff, well, who knows how many it's actually going to be. But when like Prism and the big products come out, people are buying a lot of them because it's probably the last iteration of them.
I hope you get money out of this.
Thank you.
So you're going to have to pay off all these bets you lose to me somehow. We'll be back tomorrow with the Friday edition of Brent and Friends on a Friday.
Is it Friday?
Normally it's a Friday edition of Brent and Friends on a Monday.
That's right. It was that one time.
But tomorrow it will be a Friday edition of Brent and Friends on a Friday.
Shout out.
Rare. It's like the eclipse, which will be happening this weekend, by the way.
Really?
Shout out to the partial eclipse on Saturday. Middle of the day, you'll be able to see it from your house in Jacksonville or the surrounding areas. But we can talk about that tomorrow.
I would not. We won't. And I would not have guessed that there's an eclipse.
Overtime up next. Football takes over after that. You guys, it's been a fun ride. See you tomorrow on Brent and Friends.
Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Duval!
Have a good night, everybody. Let me help you get a little something for free with the air conditioning team I use. It's Bold City Heating and Air. Tell them Brent sent you and you get a free duct cleaning with the purchase of a new unit. BoldCityAC.com. Here's why I've partnered up with Bold City Heating and Air. It's a Jacksonville-grown and family-owned and operated business. Most AC places locally have been sold to corporations, not Bold City Heating and Air. And they take care of you the old-fashioned way. Awesome communication, awesome customer service, and they have an awesome new look. BoldCityAC.com for a tune-up on that overworked AC unit. BoldCityAC.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Play a little pool, watch some football, eat wings, and, of course, plenty of adult beverages. Perfect Rack Billiards is the place to be on game day and every day. Now open for lunch at 11:30 on Friday and Saturdays. Daily specials like 75-cent Wing Wednesday, $3 Draft Thursday, and $3 Seltzer Saturday. Pool, darts, shuffleboard in a fun, clean atmosphere at Perfect Rack Billiards. It's your Jags game day headquarters. 10 wings and a pitcher for $20 and a free shot with every Jags touchdown. It's up to the Jags to score. It's up to you to have fun at Perfect Rack Billiards in Jacksonville.
Hey, poker fans, you're in for a treat this October at Best Bet. With over $690,000 in poker promotions paid out this month, this is no time to be on the sidelines. Highlights include the $400 GoPo 400 with $40,000 guarantee at Best Bet Orange Park, the $100,000 guarantee St. Augustine Championship, and the return of the World Poker Tour $1 million guarantee at Best Bet Jacksonville. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. It's a great time of year to invest in energy-efficient improvements to your home. With our competitive rates and new tax credits for insulation upgrades, you can get huge savings to improve your insulation today and see long-term savings every month going forward.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
The downsides to a 401k are limited investment options, what we'll find, and nothing against anybody who's doing it. Listen, if I wasn't an investment advisor, I might even be doing the same thing. But lots of target date funds. We don't like the target date funds because they only take into consideration the date. They don't take into consideration anything else. I think they give investors in retirement plans a false sense of security.
More at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Game 4 of the NLDS tonight. Phillies can eliminate the Braves again with a win. Coverage at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio Atlanta. Starting Spencer Strider in a winner-go-home game. Went 7 innings, allowing 1 run in Game 1 against Philadelphia. Meanwhile, in the NFL, rough start to the season in New England with some questions about Bill Belichick's future with the Patriots. NFL reporter Peter King thinks owner Robert Kraft would consider making a change.
We'll always feel indebted to Bill Belichick. I don't think that he feels like Bill Belichick's got a job for life. If this year is a debacle, I won't be surprised if he considers making a change.
King on Carlin versus Joe. Chiefs Broncos on Thursday Night Football. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce expected to play tonight, dealing with a foot injury. Broncos getting back tight end Greg Dulcich, activated to play off IR.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Cannon. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why my favorite team's season is over. Sorry, Giants fans. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My name is Jim Conroy, and I am the CEO at Boot Barn. As we celebrate 45 years supporting the Western community, we have been reflecting on the American Cowboys' incredible influence on our nation. Through tenacity and grit, they persevere to keep the cowboy legacy alive while feeding families across the world. It speaks to the strength and spirit of our country, and we are honored to support this proud heritage. Thank you for sharing the West with us for 45 years.
Our nation's sea services protect our waterways, eliminate threats around the world, and safeguard Americans at sea. They have been a vital part of our nation's defense since 1775. Help keep our sea services strong. Support our Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and U.S. Flag Merchant Marine by enrolling as a member of the Navy League of the United States, the #1 advocate for our sea services. Learn more at NavyLeague.org. The Navy League is a CFC participant.
Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton, ESPN 690. On a Thursday. A thirsty Thursday, as they used to call it down at the Jumbo Shrimp. But that season has since concluded. And now it's just a regular Thursday. It's a rainy Thursday. I bet you were busy over there at the traffic center, I think as they call it. Just a control room. Spoiler alert. Sorry, folks. Were you busy over there, Brian?
You're about to peel the curtain back on a lot of things with broadcasting, huh? We talk about centers and station and, hey, man.
Wait till you see the Breaking News Center. Holy cow. You remember the Breaking News Center at Action?
Yo, the stories we could tell, boy. People who didn't think that was a good idea.
And
who were open about it.
I think it went away pretty quickly.
It did.
Yeah.
But they were trying, though, especially in that morning time. Boy, they were trying. They were forcing it. Our news partners.
Shout out.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah, people that you know and love.
We're
that
like,
you see
this
on the
is
station,
really stupid.
Didn't know they had those kind of words inside of them. Like, yo, I'm glad I don't make decisions around here.
Yeah, that was a wild time.
Making me blush. I'm black. I didn't know you could say those words in that order. Huh? I didn't know curse words could go in that order.
Wow.
In the present tense. You feel what I'm saying? Holy smokes.
Shout out to the Breaking News Center. Rest in peace.
I know you lived a good life, a short one.
Very short tenure down there at Action News Jacks.
Where did that even come from? How did we get there?
Because I asked you how traffic was.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well,
but not as bad as it's been. But
stay safe if you're on the roads.
Please.
I assume that most lights on Beach Boulevard are out. So we'll have to check on that in just about an hour. But if you're on Beach Boulevard, please be safe, or anywhere you may be listening. It be raining, traffic be trafficking, turn your blinkers off, and get over if you're in the left lane.
And if the lights are out at an intersection, we all know how to handle this, right? It's a four-way stop at that point. People don't believe that, even on Beach Boulevard. But at an intersection,
is it?
If the lights are out, yeah.
I just go.
It'll be red on one side. It'll be red usually on the
the lights are out, Brian. There's nothing.
It'll be yellow.
I got nothing when I do it.
Okay, well, either way, if you don't see a light
it's
at
a
all,
four-way.
It's a four-way.
Well, someone needs to tell the people that are going straight.
Yeah, they don't care. I'm just saying. I'm trying to help people out. Maybe you'll save somebody's,
get me
life.
Killed. Shout out to the chat, Jim, who said, "Look at Brian, looking like he did 2 periods as a sub teacher at Sandalwood this afternoon."
Hey, Sandalwood's a good school, ain't it?
I'm not from here.
Not either.
Sandalwood?
Is that St. John's?
It's not.
It's not a good school. No. I messed up, Jim. You could have at least said, "Give me
sugarcoat it." But
give me a school. Give me a school right now. That's
Creekside.
What's the one with all the smart kids? Oh man, I forgot. It was another show where the dude was like this soft. Stanton.
Stetson is a college.
Stanton Prep. I'll take Stanton Prep though.
You ain't look like you teach at Stanton Prep. I'm not gonna lie, you do look like a teacher right now. You got the polo.
Yeah,
for those on the radio.
My glasses.
The polo.
Paxton. That's what I'm thinking of.
Sweater Paxton, yeah, with the collared shirt underneath, which I assume is long sleeve.
Could be not.
If you're wearing double long sleeve throughout the whole day, shout out to you, my friend.
It's cold in here. Number one.
Is it?
Well, it's cold in the what do you call it? The traffic center. So, if I am wearing double sleeves, it is what it is. But I'll take Paxton. I can't get a university. I can't get a FSCJ.
You ain't look like no college professor.
What was it, Creekside? What was it, Sandalwood? That's what I got, man. Come on, Jim. I can't get a UNF.
I thought it was
adjunct professor.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Holy smokes, working on his tenure.
No, absolutely.
Jeez.
I've had adjunct professors at UNF.
That man said you are a 9th grade teacher.
I'm going to be honest.
And you're a substitute.
Them boys just wear like T-shirts. I had a college professor that wore a suit.
That's fair, man.
These boys are rolling in a Def Leppard T-shirt. I'm like, all right, here we go.
They're made men and women.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you, yeah.
Tell me if this sounds like a compliment. This was earlier today.
Okay, where are we going with this one? All right.
This was earlier today at the Miami Dolphins. You may know where this one's going. Tyreek Hill on Chase Claypool. He looks like a vending machine out there. Compliment or no? You think so?
Yeah, man. That man said he's looking big. Pause. He's, you know what I mean? He's looking big and strong out there.
Okay, but
and he may have M&Ms on him.
He also said this is the slowest human I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
No one has ever mistaken a vending machine for doing anything fast, moving or dispensing food or drink. Them boys are slow, you hear me? If I saw this, I'd be like, what do you mean a vending machine? What is that?
They always got money. They always got the goods.
Actually, they be stealing money sometimes. That's what Chase Claypool been doing. I'm just saying.
Tyreek Hill, huh?
Tyreek Hill. He can basically say whatever he wants.
I'm about to say one of the few guys who can say that and be like, I dare you to say something back to me.
Basically, that's the level he's on after
That's great.
An 8 for 180 and a couple touchdown performance last weekend. All right, that's the foolishness. Jags, football, practicing a little bit this week and today and yesterday. A little bit tomorrow as well. We'll find out some more. But some good news for the Jags today. DaVon Hamilton, the window is open. He's on the practice field, although it in a limited capacity. Brian, for a while there, I was like, I don't know if we're going to see DaVon Hamilton again this year. There was just so little information. The whole thing was so very odd how it happened. Saw DaVon Hamilton today, back on the practice field. Again, 21-day window, so I wouldn't necessarily expect him to play against the Indianapolis Colts. We'll see, but I'm just thrilled that he's back on the practice field because that was a situation that I wasn't sure how it was going to be resolved, but it sounds like in the next 21 days we will see DaVon Hamilton play some football, and that's a good thing for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow, that's big. That's big.
Huge.
His addition, regardless of where not regardless, but he probably won't be 100% of what you're thinking.
Right away, yeah.
He's well enough to get on the field, and that will boost whatever it looks like on the Jags defense and pass rush, run defense. Whatever you're looking at, it will get a boost by DaVon Hamilton being on the field. If for nothing else, another guy you have in a rotation, if you want to call it that.
Sure.
Taking some of that pressure off of some of the other guys that have been there, and it gives the offensive line somebody else to worry about, and probably one of the main guys you got to worry about. And when the focus has to be spread out a bit more, it gives everybody else a bit more chance to do something that's flashy, that's a special play, that allows that Jags defense to be opportunistic, put pressure on the run game, put pressure on the passer. Any of those things can happen when you're adding another guy who the offense has to worry about on basically a play-in, play-out basis. And that's what DaVon Hamilton, we think, can be. So I'm glad that there is potentially some real positive news right there. This, again, it's all approximation.
Yep.
But at least there seems to be the forming of what we think is a light at the end of a tunnel, a very long tunnel that we didn't realize was going to be this long. And for that, I'm happy for us. But then again, I'm also happy for DaVon Hamilton because,
sure.
Out of everybody who's frustrated, he knows he played well in the preseason. He knows that, hey, man, I want to be out here with these guys. He works hard to get here, to get to the NFL. And so I'm happy for him as well that, whatever this diagnosis and approximation looks like, he's going to be able to get on the field and do what he loves and help out the Jags, man, as we try to make a run towards, the playoffs and who knows what else.
It is definitely great news for DaVon Hamilton. We'll see how long until he's back in game action, and then I agree with you that there will be some rust once he does get back in there. But will certainly help this defensive front, stopping the run, a little pass rush pressure as well. So DaVon Hamilton is the big news of the day.
You know what I saw before you go to the next thing, though?
What you
got?
watching
yesterday.
What you got?
I watch a lot of YouTube, right? I don't got cable, got a couple of subscriptions, got a bunch of YouTube. I like Netflix. I got some other,
all right, yeah,
nefarious means. Anyway,
just list your bank
I
account
was
and what you paid
watching this 30-minute video.
Why?
That was breaking down Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, and Thibodeau up in New York.
Why. Yes.
And it was more painful. The more that the guy didn't have a dog in the fight, he just started.
Real quick, I just want to not run from the fact that I wanted them to pick Thibodeau. People forget about that, and that's
the scoreboard coming out.
No, it's.
Okay.
I'm wrong. I lost.
Oh.
I'm not right. The answer was Hutch, but I'm not right. Here's the thing. I sit here a lot, and when I'm right, I like to remind you guys, right? But I was wrong then.
I don't think so.
He's not better than Hutch.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because I was about to say, Thibodeau's
I
last
like
season
him.
was good, and he's.
I'm just
New
saying,
York. It's New York.
A lot of people were in my mentions when I said that, and then like early in the season when he did nothing in his rookie year, like people were all over my mentions, and now people kind of forgot about it. So I did appreciate that, but I just wanted to bring it back up and remind people that I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, you're not perfect.
Thank you, Brian.
You're about as far away from perfect as I don't know. I don't even know what you mixed that to. Anyway, my point was this: it was a very concise breakdown, and it wasn't something that there was a bent towards one player over another. This wasn't like a Colts fan trying to break on a Jaguar or something like that. And I was just like, boy. And then there was another point that he brought up, and he was just, speculating, but I doubt this was the case. Do you think that any part of Trent Baalke and, I guess, Harbaugh, do you think any of that friction caused a bit of, I'm not going to look at this. I'm already enamored with the athleticism of Trayvon Walker. And we get that. That was most people at the draft, right? Mm-hmm. But they didn't have the number one pick. So that part I get. But do you think any of that little past history that probably had some friction in it, knowing, Jim Harbaugh and whatnot, do you think any of that potentially caused the way that we drafted?
I will say that the answer better be no. There better have been none of that because your adults move on.
They're not perfect.
Your adults move on. And if you're making decisions for franchises because you don't like a dude and a past, friendship, relationship that you had or whatever, that better not be it. That's all I'm saying. It better not. That would be...
That'd be crazy.
Outrageously stupid.
But, the overall consensus from the video, and I disagree with a few parts of it, but I won't bore you with all that. I think overall I agreed. Of course, Aiden Hutchinson right now, if we're going from rookie season to right now, been playing the best out of everybody.
Sure.
And then, I would put, Thibodeau second. I think last year he had a really – I think for what he was asked to do and what he did as a rookie, I think that he played very well. And, this season, it's a little, there's a lot of stuff going wrong with the Giants right now. So, I can't put it on, a second-year dude, even though he's a high draft pick. And then the thing about Trayvon is the thing I think that we were both saying, and most people, if you're listening on radio or you're watching on social media or you're watching Legacy TV, something like that, because it's...
What is Legacy TV?
Like traditional TV. Like, this is Action Sports Jacks.
Oh.
Yeah, that open right there. If you're watching that, you've heard it. Now, Trayvon flashes, hasn't been consistent. We'll just have to wait and see if he gets more comfortable. I paraphrase what the dude said, but I'm like, I think that's just...
That's not good.
I think that's the consensus, but you're getting halfway to the second season of a career.
You're getting dangerously close. First of all, I'm glad you watched the 30-minute video, Brian.
You weren't going to do it? Were you going to do it? No. I can send you the link.
No,
you sure?
Skip through it.
Okay.
Watch the beginning, middle, and end. Give you about 45 seconds total. But, listen, I will continue to say that I think this one, and it's going to sound stupid, so let me explain it. I think this one's on the Jags. I think he's told you multiple times where he feels the most comfortable. He said it training camp, said it when they were in Detroit. He's great against the run. Wants to be inside. If you're going to continue to try to compound what may have been a mistake, then I don't know what to tell you. Let him play where he feels most comfortable. Let him play where you think, or where he thinks he can get the most value out of himself. And that's not where they're playing him. So to me, that's on them. And if they're going to continue to try to make a right out of something that they might have made a wrong on, then that's what they get. It's unfair to him, I think. I think they've put him in an unfair position. From the pick to not playing him in the position that he will probably succeed the most in, to trying to make this right by continuously asking him to do what he's not most comfortable doing. So I think if you add those three things up, it's on the Jags. They really do. Trayvon's not a bad football player.
Not at all.
He's absolutely not. He's great at what he does, but put him in a spot where he can succeed in what he does well. And that is blowing up the run and pushing people from the interior of the defensive line, or the big end, if you will. So that's what I would do. That's what I think they should do. I've been saying it for, 10 months, 6 months. And if they ain't going to do it, that's on them. And they'll have to figure out what they can do to try to fix that. One other piece that may fix that, or at least make that better, is DaVon Smoot practicing in full today for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The window was activated last week, practiced in London, did not play in the football game, potentially will play in the football game this weekend against the Indianapolis Colts. DaVon Smoot has been a force for the Jags the last couple of years. He's been a fan favorite. He's been here for a while now. Feels like every time you look up, Smoot is at least putting pressure on, putting in a year with 5-6 sacks, not as the main guy. Smoot's been really good for this team. I think he has grown into someone that the fans really appreciate and like. When Smoot was available still this offseason, obviously coming off the injury, we got a lot of comments on both shows about bring back Smoot, bring back Smoot. I was with all of you. I'm glad they did it. This is a big-time injury he's coming off of. So I think he will help them as we continue on into the season, right? You're going to be at week 6. If it's not instant, don't worry. Because I think towards that back half of the season, if he's getting the reps, he's going to put in some work for you. He's proven that. We'll see what it looks like coming off the injury. But those are two pieces, being DaVon Hamilton, whose practice window is now open, and DaVon Smoot, who looks like is tracking towards a debut this weekend against the Indianapolis Colts, will help their pass rush, will help their run defense. But is it enough? Will it be enough? We talked about this earlier on Brent Friends. Brian, they have 9 sacks this year? 6
of them are Allen.
6 of those belong to Josh Allen. 2 of those belong to Trayvon Walker.
Chason, right?
For a total of 1 yard lost and 1 to Caleb on Chason.
Not going to let that go, that 1 yard loss part.
I just think it's funny. But not good enough. Roy Robertson Harris, where are you?
Yeah.
Foley Fatukasi, where are you for 2 years? Where are you?
I mean, I don't think that's the wrong question with Fatukasi, but
they're great against the run. But
yeah, well,
where are you?
Smoot
will help.
Looking at the stuff, yeah, you're right, man. 2022, 5 sacks, 21, 6 sacks, 20,
consistent,
5.5, 19, 6 sacks.
It's the one thing. Yeah, from 19 to now, it's the one thing that you could say with the Jags, I'm going to pencil this in May, June, July, August. Smoot's in that 5 to 6 sack range. He going to get it. And he's done it for you every year. He's been good for them. Quietly, very quietly. And obviously if you're listening to the show, I don't need to tell you you're a diehard fan, but you know this. But I would just say temper the expectation for the injury that he's coming off of. And in a way, I think people think that this might be the savior move. I think Smoot's very good. I don't think this is saving anything. I think he's going to make plays for you. But, you're not getting Nick Bosa here.
I think
that's not what this is.
Yeah, but, in a way, I think it will have a bit of what we hope the Cam Robinson effect will have for the offensive line.
Sure.
So it's not that this guy is so good, so amazing, that he's going to cover up all the deficiencies that we have in that area, whatever you're talking about, pass rush, pass block, and things of that nature. But his addition will add a bit more pressure to that offense, that offensive line. What the quarterback has to think about, what the defensive coordinator has to prepare for, because we know that this guy can at least get to the quarterback. He has proven it over time. So, it's not like Lawrence Taylor, like where is he on the field, or as you said, Nick Bosa or Myles Garrett or somebody like that. But you can't just go lollygagging being like, oh, okay, he's out here, whatever. And because that addition is on there, because that's extra preparation on top of the fact that when he's on the field, he's going to be trying. And until proven otherwise, he is pretty consistent, so he's going to help add some pressure that spreads out the lessening of pressure on the other guys to get to the QB, or the focus from the offense on the defense to get to the QB, which helps out everybody defensively. A lot of word salad there, but basically him coming on there is allowing everybody else to have less attention, unless they just don't believe in him. And then in which case, if they're just, okay, we'll put some guy on him to try to block him, or, he's not the main focal point. Well, Smoot's in the backfield for a sack.
Sure.
So yeah, you're right. He's not the guy sweeping in and he's going to just fix everything just with his presence. But just with his presence, it does boost, like you said, it does boost the level of what we can do defensively, especially against that pass rush against, opposing quarterbacks, Kasey.
A couple of other things on the injury report today for the Jacksonville Jaguars. These two will be no surprises. You know this already, but Zay Jones, Walker Little not practicing today. I would expect, this is not news, I'm not reporting this, I would expect Walker Little not to play. Tyler Shatley, likely your left guard against the Indianapolis Colts. And then Zay Jones, we'll see. So neither of those guys practicing, wouldn't have a lot of hope for the football game. I told you DaVon Hamilton was limited in his first day back. Devin Lloyd limited with the thumb. You may remember the sneaky, I shouldn't really call it sneaky, I'll say quiet little surgery to get that fixed while you're in London and miss a couple of the games there. We'll see what that looks like for this football game. Christian Braswell limited as well. And practicing in full, Cam Robinson, DeJuan Smoot. And that's your injury report. So, Jags are banged up. A couple of key spots. Walker Little being a key part of it. Zay Jones being a key part of it. Devin Lloyd will see. DaVon Hamilton still working his way back clearly. So, they've dealt with a lot more injury stuff than they did last year at this time. There's no doubt about it. You got to figure out how to win football games because the team that you're playing, the Indianapolis Colts, have injury problems as well because they are in here, will come in here with their backup quarterback because Anthony Richardson is on IR. So, it'll be Gardner Minshew.
Stash revenge game.
Yeah. I mean, yes. In theory, you're not wrong. I'm not worried about it.
How not worried about it? Like Evan Ingram?
Yeah.
Not signing the contract in May? Okay.
This is the Colts playing in Jacksonville. I'm not worried about it.
All right, man. Hey, listen. Just wanted to know on a scale of 1 to 10. And you said, I'm not worried about it. You didn't give me a number.
Their defense will make plays against Gardner Minshew. I'm not concerned about that. Their secondary will certainly be able to handle, I believe, Michael Pittman Jr., who I like, Josh Downs, who I also like, but the Jags secondary is just better. See if they can get after Gardner Minshew a little bit. No solid answer there for you. And then on offense, I mean, come on. You're taking Trevor and the boys. You're taking Travis Etienne. So we will see what will happen. Gardner Minshew and the Colts will come in on Sunday to play the Jags in all of a sudden a battle for the top of the AFC South. How about it? How about it? Let's take a break. Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton. ESPN 690 on a Thursday. What do we got on the other side, Brian?
Cast it or trash it.
You sounded like the Open. No?
Kind of.
Sort of.
Maybe.
All
I
right.
said the same words.
You said the same words. Maybe that's it. Cash it or trash it on the other side. Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton, BRB.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Cloudy tonight, still a little bit of drizzle or mist at times as temperatures drop into the upper 60s. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy and warmer for your Friday. Still a few showers, but also a lot of dry hours and highs in the 80s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's incredible buy one, get one on wedding bands now through October 31st.
Let me help you get a little something for free with the air conditioning team I use. It's Bold City Heating and Air. Tell them Brent sent you and you get a free duct cleaning with the purchase of a new unit. BoldCityAC.com. Here's why I've partnered up with Bold City Heating and Air. It's a Jacksonville-grown and family-owned and operated business. Most AC places locally have been sold to corporations, not Bold City Heating and Air. And they take care of you the old-fashioned way. Awesome communication, awesome customer service, and they have an awesome new look. BoldCityAC.com for a tune-up on that overworked AC unit. BoldCityAC.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-206-7930. 904-206-7930. That's 904-206-7930.
Come on, admit it. You know you want a new Toyota. And in Jacksonville, that means you've got to go to the one and only family-owned and operated dealer for nearly 50 years, Arlington Toyota. Arlington Toyota has over 400 new Toyotas available. Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, Tacomas, they're all at Arlington. And you should be too. And at Arlington Toyota, your new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty, unlimited time and miles. Why wait? Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
I thought I was going to have to go through a hip replacement or some painful, unsuccessful surgery or be crippled the rest of my life.
Electrical engineer Dan Vogler had awful arthritic pain in his hips. Pain that not only affected him physically, but also emotionally. And it spilled over even to his relationships.
I was almost mean. If you're in pain and other people don't sympathize with it, you're lashing out at the wrong people.
But then Dan found QC Kinetics. With the latest advances in regenerative medicine, non-surgical treatments with lasting relief.
I felt immediate relief. I mean, within half a day, much of the inflammation and pain was down.
And today, Dan says he's totally pain-free, living the life he wants.
At the end of the fourth treatment, I felt pretty much healed and enthused and was raving about QC Kinetics. I can recommend them highly to anyone.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and friction and reduce wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99. Limit supply. See store for details. Get Syntec only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Stay with ESPN 690 for your chance to see and hear our special events in the Farah and Farah Performance Studio throughout 2023. Powered by Farah and Farah and ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton, ESPN 690 on a Thursday. Chiefs, Broncos. That just stinks. Why? You know? Like, shout out to Amazon because they've had in these last year and 6 weeks some of the worst football games I've ever seen. Just games that have no hype, not really any reason to even consider watching.
It's the Amazon curse, man.
But
I'm convinced.
Here's the great news. They got Taylor Swift tonight. People going to be watching. Shout out to
She going to
them.
be at the game?
She going to be at the game. That's what they be saying. I mean, I don't know.
She got this extra time, man. Ain't she on tour?
I think it's over.
Oh.
I
She better
don't
drop
know.
a movie, though.
Also, how upset are you if you're in Minnesota, where the Chiefs were last week? Only place she hasn't been yet since she started dating Kelsey. She was in Kansas City, then New York, and now
Minnesota?
Yeah.
And I'll catch you when you come
I think she's in Chicago, too. I think Chicago was the first one.
She was like,
I don't
call me
remember.
when you on the plane.
Man, that's tough. That's tough.
That's hilarious, actually.
So Amazon will have that. We will have that on the radio. You can listen. Westwood One's coverage of Thursday Night Football starting at 7:30. Unfortunately, if you're on the radio, you will not be able to see Taylor Swift. Maybe for some of you, that's a good thing. Some of y'all will have to watch Amazon. But I guarantee she will make an appearance in the broadcast.
Over under, man. How many?
A lot. It's the Broncos and the
Lots of numbers.
Chiefs. A lot. A whole ton.
Sierra going to be punching the air somewhere. Be like, hold on now. I sing too.
Oh, that's a good point.
I sing too.
You think they're in the same suite? Are they friends?
No way. No way. I mean, I'm sure they're friendly. There's no way.
Bro,
I'd
if
be
you're
so
Sierra,
surprised if
you
they're
better
friends.
get your tail up to the Taylor Swift suite.
Yeah, she's in the Kansas City suite.
Get some of that accidental pub. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? Accidental. Be like,
Just
oh,
stumble
my bad.
upon it. You know what I'm saying?
Is this Kansas City? I thought this was Denver, but I smelled too much winning in here. I was
Must be
like,
in the
this
wrong
is weird.
spot. But
since I'm here,
I'm gonna make myself comfy.
That'd be wild.
Y'all got sparkling water? Sierra probably drinks sparkling water.
Oh, she definitely does. I think she's. No, I'm gonna leave that alone.
I saw you sipping that unsweet tea.
Yeah, we got a 6-pack. They don't pay money, so I'm gonna drop it now. But hey,
I saw you hit the restock at the Club Pub. Shout out to you. Mid sip during the segment. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to, man. A1C.
Sounds awful. That's enough of that. Cash or
Cash it or trash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
On Action Sports Jax Overtime.
You remember when we were called Action Sports Jacks Overtime?
It still says it on the website.
Oh, that's good.
No,
You know what this bet means?
It was on the website.
College football.
Okay.
Dominated Cash It or Trash It. Kasey Kuhrts. I just want to play this bet as much as possible because
It's a
I enjoy
good
it.
bet.
Yeah, because I enjoy it. So,
You can use it every day if you want. Just figure out a way.
okay. Let's go.
That's the challenge.
First up, we're going to start out in Tuscaloosa,
Oh, boy.
where the 11th ranked Crimson Tide are 5-1 overall, 3-0 in the SEC Conference. And Casey, here's Alabama's remaining schedule.
Okay.
Home against Arkansas, home against Tennessee, home against LSU, at Kentucky, home against Chattanooga, and at Auburn for the Iron Bowl. Cash it or trash it. Nick Saban and the boys will find a way to win the SEC and get to this year's college football playoffs.
Win the whole SEC or just the
SEC
West?
SEC championship.
Trash it. Oh, my goodness. What are you talking about?
Oh, wow. Hold on. I had to turn it down. Sorry. Whoa.
The SEC, they're going to lose another game or two.
Oh, hold on. Arkansas,
I don't know if it's going to be Arkansas.
Tennessee,
Might be Tennessee.
LSU.
Could be LSU.
So you got them at potentially 3 losses.
No, I'm just saying, one of the combination of LSU, Auburn's always in that conversation, even though Auburn's no good. Tennessee and Kentucky, they'll lose a game, maybe 2 of those. And even if they somehow get in a situation where they're playing the Georgia Bulldogs, they will get blitzed by the Georgia Bulldogs if
Wow.
they even end up in the game.
Blitzed.
So I'm back all in on Georgia, by the way, after last week, Carson Beck and the boys. So Alabama is just not – I don't have as much faith in them, right? They're going to lose one of the two of these games. They're going to get smacked by Georgia, and then we'll see what happens in a bowl game. But this is a younger Alabama team. They'll develop. They'll be fine. Saban and the boys, whatever. But no. They ain't winning no SEC championship. You out of your mind.
What if I just cut out the championship? Well, they got to win it with a loss already in order to get to the playoffs. So
yeah, correct.
If they were undefeated, maybe I could swing the other way. But okay, here we go. Kasey Kuhrts next up. The biggest game this weekend in college football will take place in Seattle at Husky Stadium when the number 8 Oregon Quackers, I call them Quackers because
sure.
Ducks, bunch of Quackers up there.
I do know because Ducks. Thank you.
Number 8 Oregon takes on 7th-ranked Washington. Now, Kasey, the Huskies' Michael Penix Jr. Has thrown for basically 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only 2 picks. And Oregon's Bo Nix has had a heck of a start to his season as well, too. You know, he's in season number 8 of his college football career.
Tell you what.
1,459 yards passing, 15 tutties, only 1 pick. Cash it or trash it. Oregon takes the big win on the road this weekend.
Ooh.
Washington, they playing well.
Yeah, man. I think it is the game of the weekend, by the way. There's a couple of others that are, I guess, somewhat rivaling it. You've got Miami, North Carolina, USC, Notre Dame for some. But, yeah, these two teams are better than expected, and I will trash it. I do not think Oregon goes into Washington and wins the football game. Michael Penix Jr., solid, right? Left Indiana, had the injuries, and is just up there throwing it all over the place. Bo Nix, as you mentioned, year 12 of college football. Basically just a grown man at this point, playing with, like, kids that were in high school last year. No big deal.
Good for him.
I mean, good for him. You know, you got to dominate somewhere along the line. But in Washington on the road, I think these teams are very even, or Oregon on the road, Washington at home. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to the team at home, the stadium that will be packed, and that is the Washington Huskies, Brian. I'm a believer. They're low-key good.
Wow.
You know me.
All right, man. Here we go. Next up, the Florida State Seminoles have another cupcake game on their schedule. It's Syracuse, okay?
Yes, it is.
You'll be able to hear that right here on ESPN 690, I believe, on Saturday, high noon. I believe so. Don't quote me on that.
You can quote him.
Things change all the time.
You can quote him. Coverage starts at 10.
Now, the Noles are heavy favorites, 17.5-point
really?
Yeah, favorites at home.
Wow.
But listen, with the huge matchup with the Duke Blue Devils coming up, I believe, the following week.
Correct.
This could be a potential trap game. We've seen FSU falter against, lesser competition and then, make it a win at the very end, okay? But cash it or trash it, FSU covers the spread this week at Doak against the Orange.
The number's what again? I'm sorry.
17.5.
Trash it.
Wow.
They won't cover. I think you're right. I think it's a trap game a little bit. They've got everything that says it's a trap game. If you listen to the ESPN matchup predictor, 82% chance to win. Cheapest ticket in the building. Shout out Fat Joe on the cheap ticket report that we never do anymore. $8. $8.
Really?
Yeah. It's a trap game. There's trap game written all over this. Syracuse is no good. They've gotten blown out 2 straight weeks. I think it'll be Boston College-y. I think it'll be a little muddy. I bet there are moments in the game where you're like, Florida State is great. And there's going to be moments where you're like, what are they doing? What's happening? So they'll get it done. They'll get the win, but I don't think they're covering that number. I just don't see it. Wow. But they'll get the win, and then that game against Duke, hopefully Riley Leonard will be healthy for that game. That'll be fun.
Hopefully his mom texts him something real disrespectful.
That's a wild story if you haven't heard it. Riley Leonard's mom will text him just, "You suck." He wears a wristband that says "You suck," and it's before every game.
It's been working.
It's been working.
Keep it going. All right, Kasey, let's stick with the Noles real quick since we are the official station.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, young Kuhrts, the question was asked, who was the cream of the crop at quarterback in the ACC? I posted Jordan Travis or UNC's Drake May, to which you answered Drake May so disrespectfully. I had to look around and make sure that you weren't Jada Pinkett and I wasn't Will Smith the way you called out someone else's name, another dude's name like that, okay?
Wow. Okay.
Let me give you the stats so far this season.
Okay, let's hear them.
Jordan Travis, 1,198 yards passing, 12 passing touchdowns, and an interception.
Yep, just one.
Drake May, 1,629 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Cash it or trash it, Kurtz. Travis's play has made you think that these two quarterbacks are closer in ability than you initially thought.
Trash it.
Wow, they're further away.
Jordan Travis is fine. His development for Florida State has been incredible. He's gone from a guy that was like, why is this your quarterback, to, yeah, this is your quarterback. What he's done, he's great. Their team is better. He's a great leader. All of those things. Drake May is a better quarterback than Jordan Travis. I don't think it's close. One number you left out, completion percentage, 10% more for Drake May. He's completing 10% more of his passes. Here's the thing, Brian, and Florida State's been winning big too at times, but they have played some close games, closer than North Carolina's had to play. Drake May's been like taken out of almost every game they've played in. That's where they are. They're winning games huge. Last couple of weeks, 31-13, 41-24, 40-7 last week against Syracuse. So the numbers aren't huge in the touchdown. He has thrown some interceptions. I won't argue with you there, but he's just the better quarterback. But Jordan Travis may be the better leader. But Drake May's the better quarterback.
You almost trying to play the fence. That was good right there.
Trying to play it,
one
but
extra line.
I'm perfectly clear. Drake May's the better quarterback. But Jordan Travis is the better leader. Riding the fence hurts.
Wow, I bet it does. All right, next up, going into week 7 of the college football season, the Big Ten has 3 teams in the top 10. That'd be Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. And the Pac-12, are they still Pac-12? What are they? I know they're dissolving. What are they?
12.
The Pac-12?
That's what they say.
Okay, that squad out there on the West Coast. They also have 3 teams in the top 10, Washington, Oregon, USC. Cash it or trash it, both of these conferences have surpassed the SEC in overall talent and coaching. Because there's only one SEC school in the top 10. It's UGA.
Yeah.
But, wow.
It feels reckless, huh?
I can't say it, but the numbers don't lie sometimes.
All right, man, cash it.
Wow.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Wow, you really said it.
The SEC's down. They are. I don't believe in Ohio State. This is 4 straight weeks I'm going back to the well. I don't believe in Ohio State. People love Penn State. Y'all love Penn State. I don't understand. Michigan's pretty solid. But when I'm out there looking at the boys out west, USC plays no defense. No defense to be found. None. Nada on the defense. But boy, they play offense. Washington, they do a little bit of both. You know, Oregon in the conference has allowed 12 points. 12. They've played a couple of times. So I'm a believer in the Pac-12 this year. There will be no more Pac-12 after this, or there will be, but it won't be the same. But those top teams there, you mentioned USC, Oregon, Washington, but even if you keep going deeper, Oregon State is solid. Yeah. Utah is solid. UCLA, all right, they're surprising people. Washington State, they've got teams 7, 8, 10, 15, 16, 18, and 19 in the country. I like what they're doing out there. The Big Ten is top heavy. The Pac-12 is pretty even because one of those teams that I didn't mention in the rankings is a Colorado team that is, taking care of some business and shocked some people so far this year. Then you got Arizona at 3-3 who almost beat USC. That's just college football, but there's a lot of depth in that conference. And this year, right now, I'll take them over the SEC. But overall, Georgia's still the best team. Just want to confirm.
Okay. 51-45.
Sounds good.
Combined.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we can get 2 more in. Here we go. There's been a lot of hemming and hawing about whether USC's Caleb Williams will stay in college football for an extra year, depending on who gets that number 1 overall pick in the NFL. Cash it or trash it, Kasey Kuhrts, regardless of how much NIL money Caleb Williams might be making. Let's be real. When April 2024 rolls around, Caleb Williams will be on an NFL roster regardless of the team.
Trash it.
Oh, you reckless.
I wouldn't go to Arizona. I wouldn't go there. We talked about this on Brent Friends. This is the most irrelevant team in the NFL. Their owner is apparently the worst. Toxic workplace up and down reports. Coaching staff. I mean, Arizona's a really bad spot. And if that's the team, by the way, they have 2 chances at this for the number 1 overall pick. If they end up with it, I'm not going if I'm Caleb Williams. He going to make a lot of NIL money. He might win 3 Heisman trophies at this point. He don't turn over the football like... I just don't know if I'd go to Arizona, Brian. Chicago's a different story. I would go there if I was him. You can be an absolute legend if you can figure out a way to turn around Chicago. There's reasons to go to Chicago, I think. There's no reason to go to Arizona other than to be an NFL football player. There's no appeal.
Okay.
You can make money anywhere. You can make money in college. You can win games in a lot of places. I don't know if you can win them in Arizona. The weather's nice. I know you like Arizona. Shout out to, where you and Brock Purdy go to church?
Rock Point.
Rock Point. Shout out.
Queen Creek, Arizona.
Shout out to the people out there. But if I'm looking at this thing with Arizona at the top, I'm like, you know what? Southern California is nice. And I'm in Wendy's commercials. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
I think there's a possibility. And then Drake May's going to be like, damn, now I got to go to Arizona.
And turn it around.
Arizona, and then Drake May's like, I'm staying in North Carolina.
Let's squeeze this one in real
All
quick.
right.
All right, a little baseball, cash it or trash it. I know they got a chip a handful of years back, but they have a lot of early postseason exits under this guy. Cash it or trash it. The Dodgers are better off with Dave Roberts than not.
It's very Kevin Cashy to me, so I'm going to trash it.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes you just got to make tough decisions.
Wow.
Outside of the Mickey Mouse Championship, they've got nothing. They got nothing to show. They're too good. They've got too good of players. For whatever reason, I think there's a part of it. It's the wild card series, and it's hard for the teams with buys to win right now, but this team should not have been eliminated. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith. This lineup is stacked. Their pitching staff is good. They should not be done. He's been there a long time, but it's the same thing I feel about Kevin Cash. Dude wins 100 games a year. Dave Roberts has been great, but it's not getting done. The job's not getting done. These guys are only getting older. Maybe it's time. Maybe they need that change to get the guy to put him over the top.
That'd be wild. That'd be wild.
It would be wild. I don't disagree with you, but you just got walked by the Arizona Diamondbacks, who nobody has any idea who any of their players are nationally. You about to find out when they're playing the Phillies in the NLCS, because the Phillies get it done tonight, by the way. Phillies get it done tonight. I'm guessing you're on the Chiefs tonight.
Yeah.
All right, this is the all-time overtime curse. I've got the Chiefs as well. If the Denver Broncos pull this thing out, I don't even know what to say if the Denver Broncos pull this thing out. Side note, are you on the Phillies or the Braves?
Braves.
Phillies in this thing tonight. I feel better about that because there's no curse. We'll see what happens to the Chiefs. You can listen to the game. Oh, okay. Sounds good. We'll see about the curse then. You can listen to the game, the football game, the Chiefs and the Broncos right here on ESPN 690, and we will talk about it tomorrow. For Brian Middleton, I'm Kasey Kuhrts. The out time was a minute ago, so I got to go. Have a good night, everybody. I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Brent Friends on ESPN.